Check 1 2, checking 1 2 3 4 5. Checking. Good evening from Versailles, Kentucky Community Stadium. It's coming across. Check 1 2, checking 1 2 3 4 5. Checking. It's a great night for football in Central Kentucky. Temperatures in the low 70s. Not a rain cloud in the sky. It's partly sunny, and it's a rivalry game with a district championship hanging in the balance from Community Stadium tonight. Good evening, and welcome to tonight's broadcast of Woodford County High School football. Darren Douglas here with us, and we'll have Andy Smith, my color analyst, joining us a little bit later. But right now, before we get into the preview of this game tonight, I want to go back. And I don't want to go back too far because he's within arm's reach of me. But 45 years ago this year, the Yellow Jackets went into a season to remember. They go to the championship game of the state tournament. 3A was the classification for the Jackets. And I have the quarterback of that ball club with us here this evening, and that is Mark Matthews. And Mark, first and foremost, I want to welcome you to tonight's broadcast. You texted me the other day and said, Darren? I said, yes. He goes, this is Mark Matthews. I said, I'm glad you said that. But you are now back closer to home. But what's it mean to come back here to Community Stadium?
Well, it's been a long time. I remember being here in '88 when we dedicated this stadium, and I was fortunate enough to speak at the opening. And it's been a long time, but it's great to be back here and see everyone and meet some people that I haven't seen, quite honestly, for many, many years, and reflect a little bit and just remember all the great times we had here together, which is what you always remember about high school sports is the friendships and the relationships in the locker room and things like that. So it's a pretty exciting night. Big game tonight for Woodford County, and excited to see it.
Well, there was 2 points that I made to you in the text message to you. I said, one, you said, I'm coming to the game on Friday night. I said, oh, great. I said, I can have you up here in the box for a pregame interview. I said, the first point I want to make, we're playing the Cardinals of Scott County. And
yes,
you
sir.
Immediately lit up as soon as I said that. And I said, oh, and by the way, it's homecoming. So
that's a big
couple
night.
of nice nights.
I'm sure there's going to be a big crowd tonight. It's great to see what we've built here, and Dennis has done a great job.
Yep.
And, it's a big game, and it's a district game, and it matters. And it'll be fun to see how this thing turns out.
Well, for the first time in 16 years, the Jackets and Cardinals are in the same district as well as classification. It has been a long time since these two schools have played. The Jackets have a losing record right now against the Cardinals, 16, 19, and 1 all-time against Scott County. Tonight will be game number 36 of the night, or of the series against these two ball clubs. And when I told some people, and I'm going to say some people, some older people that are like me.
Hey, be nice.
That are
be
like
nice,
me.
Dude.
That
Come
are
on.
like me, that remember that 1978 season. First off, it started, I believe, the year before when he showed up here in Versailles, Kentucky from Clemson, South Carolina.
Yeah.
A guy by the name of Phil Duke Owen. Not very tall in stature, but man alive was he. He was a Bear Bryant clone.
Yeah, what a great man. And, you think back over the years and you think that's a guy that had a real influence on me.
Yeah.
And a lot of us. And he built something special here, even though it was over just a few years. And, I think the thing I remember the most about him was he demanded that you do things right. He wanted us to play hard, obviously. But he thought the way we cared about each other was as important as anything else. And I think over the few years he was here, that's what made the real difference for us. And it's still what's memorable today is the way we felt about each other.
Well, you told my fiance a minute ago that I was probably 5 during that time, and I appreciate that. Thank you, Mark. But I was almost 13. I turned 13 during the course of the year.
Yeah.
So I'm old enough to remember. And I'm also old enough to remember it was at Old Memorial Field. For the folks that don't know where that was, it's where the O'Reillys is right now currently. That was actually the baseball field, the right field of the baseball field. The football field was between what's now O'Reilly's and the bus garage.
Yep.
And it was a beautiful setting for football. I can remember people getting there and fighting to get those 10 or 12 parking spaces up on the hill where they didn't have to pay and they could still look down into the game.
Right.
But I remember those nights and how wonderful it was. But the 2 things I remember, not only that season, but I remember Al Raby, the longtime clock keeper. I sat in his lap but not at 12 or 13 years old. I was
Right.
beyond that now. But I sat next to him. And everybody remembers Mr. Raby because, number one, his brother and him owned Raby Brothers Farm Implement Company right there, whereas now your hardware, Ace Hardware now is where they were
Right.
located. But he was also the equipment manager for the football team. He did that a lot of years. He also rode the field for him too, as
Yep.
well. So
He was a
did a lot of things.
multi-purpose guy.
He was, and a great dude. And his wife spoiled me because he always had brownies or cookies
Right.
made for me, and
Share
I
the
just was,
goodies.
I was sitting right up there. We look at this year, Mark, as 78, and I'm telling you, you very rarely ever see two teams start the season against each other and then finish it against
Yeah.
each other in the state finals.
Yeah.
If you do, it's an anomaly. It doesn't happen very often.
Right.
But you started the year against Russell, and what everybody remembers, it was not a very good game. We didn't play well that game. I do remember that. And I can remember hearing Coach Owen bark from the sidelines because we were close enough over there to Rec Bowl in Mount
Right.
Sterling. But the thing I remember about that is, about that Russell team, a lot of people don't know this, one of their offensive guards, well, he may be a little famous guy by the name
sort
of Billy
of.
Ray Cyrus.
That's correct.
I think he was
That is true.
175 pounds, too,
That's
at that
true.
point in time.
Yeah.
But
That's true.
that game we didn't play well, and I know you started the season 0-2.
Correct.
Of course, we were talking about that Henry Clay game. It was at Versailles, and if it rained, it was like any natural grass surface, especially in Versailles. It wasn't a mud pit. It was actually a swimming pool, especially in front of the scoreboard there
Yep.
on the home side. You lose that 12-8 to a Jake Bell-led team. We say Jake Bell because he's been 3 times interim principal at Woodford County High School over the last
Really?
10 years.
I
Yes.
didn't know that.
And I also say it with Dr. Bell because he always sees me. He's a Georgetown College alum who graduated with my mother.
Right.
So he didn't hold that against me. I think he knew better, to be honest with you. But then you come back home and you play Anderson County, who's now back in the district, who the Jackets will play next week after this game. So that was a big rivalry game. You handled them pretty well, 28-0. And then you had a game that you said you had a hand in losing this game, and I was
For
like,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Madison, and
Yeah.
I'm saying Richmond-Madison. A lot of folks won't know that, but there was a Richmond-Madison high
Yeah.
school.
So we started 1-3,
Yeah.
and we weren't playing real consistent. We were kind of a work in progress. And the Madison game specifically, I threw an interception in the end zone.
Oh.
We're going in to score. I throw the interception in the end zone to Eddie Simmons.
Uh-huh.
It's a name
I remember
you may
Eddie, yeah.
remember, and Eddie played a little bit at Kentucky and bounced around a little bit, but he runs the ball all the way back while I'm laying on my back watching him. And that's what turned that game around, and Richmond-Madison wins. So we're 1-3 at the end of the 4 games. And then we go on this run. It's a 10-game run
Yeah.
that took us all the way to the state finals, which was really unbelievable. And you know, we played really well. We gained some confidence. We started to do things that we believed we could do, and the confidence built, and we go all the way to the state finals. And that stretch of games, that 10-game period, I mean, we're playing teams like Scott County here tonight, and Harrison County, and Danville, and Shelby County. I mean, it was not a cakewalk schedule. So it turned out better, but it didn't
Yeah.
start real well.
No,
It did
and
not
I
start
can
real
only
well.
imagine practice. If anybody knew Coach Owen when he was here, but then you knew Coach Dan Cassidy,
Yes, sir.
it was not a fun week of practice leading into the game against Bourbon County the following week,
No,
I'm
no.
sure.
In fact, we all have our old stories, right? But it's a story that we come out of that game and we're 1-3 and we're not playing real well, and Coach Owen feels like he needs to get our attention.
Uh-huh.
So we literally start practice at 3:30 on a Tuesday after that 1-3 opening. And we practiced until 8:30 that night. And it was brutal. And we leave the practice facility at 8:30. And Alan Holt, who was a lineman on that team, goes
An
home.
undersized lineman, by the way.
Yes. And they kind of all were.
They all
But
kind
they
of
were great.
Yeah, they were. They were a
really
good
good.
unit.
Probably 155 pounds across the front, but really good. He goes home, falls asleep in the car in the driveway of the house, and sleeps for several hours in the car because of the 5-hour practice.
And if I knew Alan, that's a shock because he was high energy.
Yeah, and so yeah. But then things start to happen, and we were really good over the next
Yeah.
10 games, and really
Well,
good.
The next game after Bourbon, a 34-0 shutout. You knock off the Cardinals on homecoming, 34-12 in that game. And then we go to Jessamine County. The only loss for the Colts, Graham Heasley, a former coach here, was the quarterback there. He remembers that, and to this day he hates you all. Not just you specifically, but you all. And, he said that was the only thing that kept our season from going. We wanted another crack at you, and we lost to Shelby County the week before we were supposed to play you all in the second game. The one game I want to talk about, Shelby County.
Yeah, it's famous.
And it's a famous game for several reasons. It's really famous to me because my parents, who Mark who grew up around, knew how competitive my parents were. And they would never leave a game. They didn't care what the score was, what the weather was. And even my dad had his mother-in-law, Esther Ritchie, with him, my mom's mom.
Right.
And Dad said, we're leaving. And my grandma looked at him and says, game's not over. And it was raining. It was cold. It was brutal. We were down 14-0, 3.5 minutes to go. We get an interception. Take that back for a touch. Not the interception, but a couple of plays, touchdown. We missed the extra point because of the mud. John Hutcherson slips. We missed the extra point. We're down 14-6. We kick it deep, which I think shocked everybody. Still had 3 timeouts left. Got a fumble 2 plays into Shelby County's next drive. We take that down, score, go for 2, get it. Then we get a block punt.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
To set up us in short field, and then Hutch kicks a field goal with 3 seconds to go in the game, and we win it. And we stopped after the first touchdown to turn around and go back because my mom and my grandmother stopped and turned around and go back. Dad said, wait a minute, we better go back because the 2 women are coming back. We better go back too.
Yeah.
And there we go. That was the only time I ever remember my folks leaving a game before it was totally over. But that had to be one of those games.
It's a famous game. It's one of those. That's why you play, right?
Right.
I think there's a couple things I would say about that game and that kind of encapsulated the year. Is the first thing is we're behind 14-0 with 3.5 to go, but nobody felt like we were going to lose the game.
Right.
And that was a unique thing about this particular team is we wanted to play in games that mattered, and we never thought there was a game that we couldn't win, no matter what the situation was. So the second thing that I remember is that we go into the huddle. We're backed up on our first drive. We go the length of the field and score. But before that drive started, we step into the huddle, backed way up on the end of the field, and we said, all right, it's time to win this game. And we did. And I think you just think about what Coach Owen had built in terms of know your job, do it right, and just believe that you're in every game because that team did. And that's what allowed that game to finish the way that it did. And if you remember, we beat them later in the playoffs.
Easily.
Just like 28-12 or something like that. 24-8.
Yeah.
Later in the season in the playoffs. So, but I think it was that game that gave us a real confidence going into the playoffs from that point.
Yeah, no, you knock off Danville. You said they deserved it because they knocked you off in Danville the year before 40-0. You knocked them off 23-0. Then you beat Harrison County. Franklin County shut them out in Frankfort 31-0. Then you knock off Montgomery County on a big run by you towards the end that you said Coach Owen chewed you out because you got chased down by a real thin, scrawny safety and bumped you out of bounds. He said you should have scored.
Well, he got out after me twice, which was not unusual.
You're the quarterback. He's going to get on you.
Yeah, he had to, you got to have to say something to say. He got after me twice. We called a timeout with 4th and 4. We're behind. It's 4th and 4. We got to make a play. Coach Cassidy's talking to me about what's going to happen next. I'm going to give you 2 plays. You choose the one you like, is what he said to me. And as we broke the timeout and I was headed back to the huddle, I looked at Coach Cassidy and Coach Owen. I said, guys, relax. It's okay. We're fine. This is going to be okay. And Coach Owen didn't like that. He just didn't like it. He's like, you got to keep your head in the game. You got to make sure you're paying attention. Like, we're fine. So then we go back. We make the play. And then I got run down by, I think the guy had an angle. So he runs me down.
That's your story and you're going to stick to it.
It's about 4 or 5 yard line. So we score on the next play. And then we end up winning the game after being behind again right at the end of the game.
Well, Mark, then we go into the playoffs. You knock off Shelby County, as we mentioned, 24-8, the open. Then you beat a very talented Franklin Simpson team. And I'll mention just a few names. Kirby Jernigan wound up playing at EKU.
Yep.
Then you had
Joker.
A couple of guys, Joker Phillips.
Yep.
And a guy by the name of Kerry Baird.
Kerry
Both
Baird,
played at
yep.
University of Kentucky. Both were all conference players, too,
Yep.
at UK. So they had no talent, or had some serious talent there, and you wound up beating them 24-15. And then, of course, you lose to Russell in the final 17-7. Played much better against them. Unfortunately, just that veer offense. It was a high-risk offense.
Right. Yeah.
Reading the belly and then pitching and stuff. It just didn't work that day, but played much better and lose to a really good quality Russell team.
Yeah, it was interesting that if you go through a 11-4 season, we didn't open real well against them.
Yeah.
And we didn't close real well against them, which was interesting to note. But the Franklin Simpson game was interesting because that's a really talented team.
Oh, yeah.
You have 3 Division I prospects on 1 high school football team. That's a good team. And Joker and I have stayed in touch over the years.
And especially a small
school
community like that.
But they come rolling into town in the big,
Yeah.
charter bus.
Yeah, 3 of them.
With their Dallas Cowboy uniforms. And my dad happened to be working for the Boosters Club then, so he's doing the programs. And they come piling off the bus. And if you remember, we played at the junior high.
Yeah, played at the old middle
Memorial
school,
Stadium
yeah.
was at the old middle school. So they come rolling off the bus, and my dad's standing there, and he's like, they're talking about, hey, we thought we came to play the high school, not the junior high. He just, Dad's pretty understated, kind of
a quiet guy.
Wait till after, and we'll talk again. All right, so that was his way of saying, just be careful about what's getting ready to happen to you.
You're going to bite off more than you can chew.
Yeah, and that was a big win.
It was a huge
that
win.
was probably an unexpected win.
Yeah.
If you're guys like you that are looking at it from the booth and going, how are they going to win this game? But we did, and then we go on to the final game.
Well, I tell you what, and again, it was a great year. It was a great time to be a young man or a young woman, but especially a young man growing up in Woodford County. It was a lot of fun to follow that team, and I've kept in contact with a bunch of you guys. I'm Jeff Brown, commonly known as Mule to a lot of people. May not know him by Jeff. It's Mule. Louis Musey.
Yep.
Both undersized running backs, but both would run you over in a heartbeat.
Yeah. It's interesting that I got a chance to talk to Mule tonight on the phone from Atlanta. He's in Atlanta, and it's a special couple of minutes. But think about that team. There's 4 running backs on that team that were all virtually interchangeable.
I can't remember the fourth one. I remember Orlando Birch.
So you got Rolo, and then you got Wayne Howard.
Wayne Howard, yeah. I could not remember
Louis
Wayne.
And Mule. And so you got 4 running backs.
3 of them
school
under
team.
5'8".
Yeah, and really interchangeable. So we had a lot of depth, and they were really good. It was a good time.
Mike, I tell you what, real quickly, what's it like to be back here at Community Stadium? Something that your dad was a part of as far as the committee that built this. I actually helped lay a lot of sod on this field
good for you.
for that. That's only because my mother volunteered me to do it. There wasn't no volunteer to with Gail Douglas. You know that. But what's it? I mean, you got field turf here, the sports turf, where everybody seems to be going to. What's it just mean to sit up here from this vantage point? You've not been up here before, I don't think.
No, it certainly makes you reflect, and those are good reflections.
Oh yeah.
And of course, the memories and the friendships. I was talking to some guys earlier that have kids that are playing tonight. Matt Brown, Clark Bug, and it's the friendships.
Right.
And the relationships and the work that you put in together as a group of guys that you remember. It's easy to talk about the games, but it's those friendships that mean the most and matter. And that's what's so cool about being here tonight is you get to rekindle those friendships and feel like you never left.
Right.
Right. So it feels like Gwen and I really have never left. So it's good to be back. And tonight's a big night.
It's a huge night.
It's a big night.
There's a reason why you texted me this week. Not only were you wanting to come back, but homecoming, and it just happens to be the Cardinals from across the way.
Yeah, it's a big night.
Yeah.
That's historically a very, very good program. And this will
came
be a
down
good
between
test.
these two teams for a district championship or a spot in the playoffs.
Yeah, you could see that happening.
90% of the time.
Dennis has done a good job here, and it's a big test for them tonight. And they pass this one, and then they just keep playing.
Yeah. Mark, it's always good to see you, buddy, and I do appreciate you coming up tonight.
Thank you.
Hope
Appreciate
you enjoy the
time.
game tonight.
I will.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the time.
And don't be a stranger
No,
now that you live
absolutely.
closer.
We're close.
You're only about 4 hours away.
We
now.
can get here easy.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Appreciate that.
Mark Matthews, the quarterback of the state runner-up 1978 Yellow Jacket football team, with us in here in the pregame and appreciate him coming up and talking about that, reliving that 78 game season. I know that last game was not one to remember, but getting to that state championship was just that. So Woodford County and Scott County tonight. As I have Andy Smith here with us. He'll be with us in just a moment. Got a lot of great things going on here tonight. As you look at the district schedule of games tonight, South Oldham lost 2 games in a row after starting the season 5-1. They are at home tonight against the Bearcats of Anderson County. David Buchanan, his first year there in Lawrenceburg. The Bearcats looking for their first win tonight. Martha Lane Collins, after losing to Woodford County last week, they'll be on the road. They'll be at home against North Bullitt. I've got that backwards. They'll be at home against the Eagles of North Bullitt. And, of course, this one, Scott County and Woodford County here in the district plays. You look at the standings right here. This is the district championship between Woodford and Scott County. It should be a heck of a football game here from Community Stadium. Looking at the RPI rankings, and that has a whole lot to do with the places people will play during the postseason. You look at number 1, South Warren. Number 2 is Highlands, back up there under Bob Spire finally. The Cardinals, they are sitting at number 3. Southwestern at 4. I'm having a tough time understanding why the Warriors there at number 4, simply because I think their schedule has not been as loaded as it normally is, and they are only 4-3 on the year. Then Atherton, they're 6-1. Really worried about how the Ravens are ranked ahead of the Yellow Jackets, and people say, well, that's not used to be their nickname. No, they've changed it in the last couple of years. Then you see the Jackets at number 6. The Gators of Greenwood at home tonight at 7. Owensboro 8. Bowling Green, and then South Oldham still hanging in there at number 10 on a 2-game losing streak, Andy. That's kind of surprising in the RPI.
Well, especially after seeing what Woodford County did to South Oldham here at home. I mean, wouldn't think that they would be able to hang on to that after 2 losses. They did not look too sharp. I thought they looked good at times, but I did not think they looked too sharp against the Yellow Jackets overall.
Games in 5A that have a lot to do with his RPI ranking. Number 9 ranked Bowling Green is at number 1 South Warren. Connors at number 2 Highlands. Boone County is at number 7 Cooper. Atherton, the number 5 team, is at Iroquois. South Laurel's at number 4 Southwestern. And then Franklin Simpson at Greenwood, who is right hanging in there at number 11. That could make some noise there because Greenwood, I think, still has to play either South Warren or Bowling Green. That could get them up in the different kinds of rankings. Other games of note, and I put this first one, Andy, on because for the first time, I think, in 12 years and only twice in the last 25, DuPont Manual knocked off St. X last week by 1 on a last-second drive, and I think I heard it went 85 yards.
Wow. I mean, that's a heck of a –
yeah.
How long has it been?
It's been 12 years since they beat St. X.
Yeah.
They've only beaten them twice in the last 25.
Oh, wow. That's incredible.
And
that's
I say
a long tradition.
Yeah. And everybody knows what St. X does, so I put that one first. We're going to see how St. X rebounds tonight. I feel sorry for Meade County. They got to go to Louisville and take on the Tigers of St. X.
After a loss.
Yeah, after a loss and the way they lost it, that's not a good feeling for the Tigers. Mail is at Fern Creek. Now, that's an interesting game because Mail has beaten both Trinity and St. X this year. So we'll see how this comes about. Fern Creek right now is on a little bit of a roll.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an interesting game. One that I posted here just because I like the guys down at Glasgow. We've been treated real nice for 2 years we've been down there. Hart County's at Glasgow. That's for their district championship. Whitley County gets to go to Corbin. Speaking of sacrificial lambs, that's not going to be fun for the Colonels to go down to take on the Red Hounds. And I just do this because I have cousins who live over in Cynthiana, and I know the head coach in Ray Graham. He's a good guy, but they got a real tough chore tonight there in Covington tonight to take on the Colonels of Cove Cath.
Yeah, Cove Cath's always strong. It's you're talking about tradition, and they've got access to a lot of really good football players around Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati area, and they always
Right.
put on a good show. We've always seen every time I've gone up there to with you or gone up there to see a game with Woodford County, it's always been a rough night.
A very
for
rough
the Yellow
night. Although the
Jackets.
Jackets got the Colonels down here 2 years ago
Right.
in the playoffs. So
That was a lot of fun to watch.
that was a lot of fun to watch. And I'm telling you, this is going to be a dandy of a football game tonight, folks, between the Jackets and the Cardinals. This is the Woodford County Public Schools High School Game of the Week. Also brought to you by Jack Kane Ford, along with Carroll Floor Covering, UK Sports Medicine, as well as also have sponsored by Dairy Queen, Woodford Seal Coat, Woodford County Car or Woodford Car Company, J&B Food Mart. Also by Mr. Appliance, Carroll Floor Covering, Falling Springs Rec Center, Cindy Chirac, Rector Hayden Realty, Ricardo's Restaurant, and by Woodford County Judge Executive James Kay. So, who, by the way, I got to give a shout out to James. I got to give a shout out to my seniors who are up here on the hill having a fundraiser tonight, a rockathon. So
Yeah.
if you're late coming into the game, you want to help out your seniors here in the community, stop off and rock for half an hour or so and donate some money to help the seniors continue to have a good center to come to during the week. So I'll just say that. And Andy, glad to have you after a week off, buddy.
Yeah, man. Had some plans made with my wife. We haven't. We kind of dedicate some time to each other this last week, and it was an important weekend for us.
So that's good. And also, too, we want to say congratulations to the Woodford County Middle School 8th grade team last
Absolutely.
night in Paris over at Bourbon County High School. They knocked off the Elks of Elkhorn Middle School out of Frankfort in the Bluegrass Middle School Championship game, 46-20.
Well,
So congratulations, Dave. That's, I think, the third year that group of 8th graders has won that, 6th, 7th, and 8th.
that Elkhorn Middle School program is always good. We got the national anthem. They snuck it up on us
They
here.
did. The national anthem here at Community Stadium. Woodford County waiting to come out on the far left-hand side. They'll be dressed in all black tonight. Scott County to our right, taking a knee in the end zone, dressed in all white with the red helmets. The Jackets looking to move to 6-1 on the season and get that number 1 seed, Andy, in the playoffs for the first couple of rounds to get home games here in the postseason. That's big because you don't have to travel anywhere. Plus, you avoid maybe some teams in the upper echelon right now of the RPI until the quarterfinals and later.
Yeah, you really, Woodford County, when we've made the playoffs in the past, it's always been having to play the number 1 or the number 2 seed, and usually means that there's going to be a short run.
Right.
And it's nice to get to those teams later when you get the butterflies of the playoffs out a little bit, and that's it's always a good thing. Darren, we got a special presentation of the American flag here tonight. I don't know if you saw that. It's up on the big ladder truck.
Yeah,
coming down from the fire department. And that's kind of a cool little new thing there they got going on there. I think it's just for tonight for homecoming. But the flag's almost out over the end zone there tonight.
It's a huge flag. And, again, we'll also Michael Kane, who was very instrumental in getting the veterans recognized last year in the playoff game against Whitley County, is organizing that again. If you know who Michael is, contact him because they're going to do that 2 weeks from tonight in the last regular season home game of the year against Ballard here.
And is that all Woodford County veterans?
It's veterans for them and any veteran that might be listening from Louisville Ballard.
From Louisville Ballard. So
Yeah.
anybody who wants to be honored that night from Kroger, from Community Stadium.
We'll handle that at Kroger Field.
From Community Stadium, it'll be Vet Night. Now, on Veteran Night, does that mean that veterans get in free as well?
I think so. I
Oh,
think
all
so.
right,
So
so
if you contact Michael, he'll be able to tell you that more readily than
And
I
that's
would.
Michael
Kane.
Kane.
And I didn't see who won the toss. So the way it looks like Scott County won the toss, and they'll take the football to start things.
Yeah, well, that's usually Woodford County's choice. It could be good. We'll see. I'm excited for this football game, Darren. I think these two teams could be very well matched. I'm excited to see what Woodford County can do against a team that a lot of people wish that Woodford County would play more often, simply because if they can win this game, they're a neighbor. But if they can win this game, it's one of those that silences a lot of the naysayers about scheduling.
Yes.
This is a big game for both teams. A big game for Woodford County to really show what they've got.
Huge game, and it'll be Logan Ford to kick off for Woodford County. Jackets will move right to left on your viewing device tonight. And he approaches the football, and he'll pooch it down here. It'll hit at the 24 of Scott County, picked up by Buddy Collins. He'll get it around the corner and get up to the 25-yard line, where he's ridden down there by Sam Hash, number 23 on special teams.
Boy, Sam Hash just kind of swallowed him up on that, didn't he? He never really got to full speed, and Sam Hash tracked him down.
Hash showing some really good speed. Collins is their leading return guy. He's returned a kickoff return for a touchdown and an interception for a touchdown this year. It'll be Andrew Hickey at quarterback for the Cardinals. He's 6'2", 180 pounds, and a junior. Most of these guys are back next year for the Cardinals. They pitch here on the quick pitch to the running back. He has a big crease. That's Collins. He gets outside, and a flag will be behind. He'll be dragged down inside the Woodford County 20-yard line by Davion Sturgis. But we're going to have a hold here. It'll be a first down still for the Cardinals because he got it the flags at the 48-yard line.
I'm a little surprised there wasn't a hold out here on the end before that.
By the right tackle.
Yeah, the right tackle really got a hold of 62 for Woodford County and just wouldn't let him go. I mean,
Jackson Cobble, who was the victim of that, but the cornerback here, I think that was Ivan Turner, who was literally souffled for all you wrestling fans out there.
We can't talk about, you can't talk about that outside block and not talk about how hard it is, but still, I thought that the defensive tackle for Woodford County did a good job getting upfield. When he went to go make his move, he just could not get out of that iron grip. I saw it from up here, but I guess his back was turned just right.
Just enough. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals after a gain of 15 after the penalty. Formation in first man. They give it off to the fullback, Fryman, and he's met in the hole by Graham Hodge, who had a huge monster game defensively for the Jackets last week against the Titans of Collins. Hickey with the backs in the backfield split. Hughley. They give it off to Hughley running right side or left side. He has a big hole. He gets into Woodford County territory, breaks a tackle, and gets down to about the 40-yard line, maybe the 41. They're going to call it short at the 41-yard line. A first down for the Cardinals. Well, and Andy, with this offense that they run, it's kind of basically the Delaware wing T or the wing T offense. If you follow the guards, they'll take you to the ball because they pull about 99% of the time.
It's linebacker U right there, Darren, what you just said. You follow those guards, and they'll get you there. But in the wing T especially.
Double wing backs. Fryman. They give it off to Boy, defensive end's got to keep it, and he's going to go
Yeah.
score. I tell you what, you have to keep outside containment if you're the defensive end, and that was way too easy for the Cardinals. Four plays.
You got to come straight upfield and square it off, and I'm sure that's what's going to be in the ear hole of that defensive end. I wouldn't want to be him coming off the field there because that was just in terms of
1 minute, 42 seconds is all it took. And they've got speed to burn. Now, they're not as big up front as they normally are.
Right.
The kicker is Taysir Jabbour, a 6'2", 180-pound senior. He is perfect on the season, 49 of 49. Making 50 of 50. They've scored a lot of points.
What I was trying to say there, Darren, is that's just something that you coach all year. You start those defensive ends without pads early to not get sucked in. It's such a temptation for a kid when they see somebody coming free like that to want to go in.
Right.
This kid's way too fast for that. You got to play your position, stay home, come upfield and square that back in where your tacklers are.
Now, I will say this for Scott County. They run this offense at the two middle schools, actually 1.5 middle schools, because the kids at Royal Springs, the third middle school there, they split.
Mm-hmm.
But Georgetown Middle feeds Great Crossings. Scott County Middle feeds Scott County High School because it's on the same grounds right in front. But they run this offense from the time they're in the 6th grade all the way up.
Yeah.
And, it's kind of like the triple option that the Jackets run. You have to simply play disciplined football. You have to be disciplined. If you're not, they'll kill you all night long.
Yeah, with the wing tee, if you have a little speed, which obviously Scott County does, it is dangerous.
Yeah, they have more than a little speed. They have a lot. They have a lot, unfortunately, for a lot of teams, and they will be dangerous for sure next year. They are the number 3 team. I'm still trying to figure out how they're number 3. They lost to probably the number 1 overall team, despite classification, to Boyle County. Jabbour kicks this one. It'll go to the far side, hitting the end zone, and it'll be a touchback, and Woodford County will begin from their own 20-yard line. He does have a wind behind him. There is a breeze here tonight blowing left to right on your video screen or your listening device if you're listening only. Glad you're with us here. Cardinals take an early 7-0 lead, and they made it look easy.
Yeah, they did. And Woodford County's defensive line is just going to have to get the job done. Now we'll see what the offensive line can do. If they can keep that Cardinal defense off of the quarterback, Wertzler.
Well, first and foremost, I don't see Samuel Garrison. I saw him on crutches.
Oh, dear.
So they give it off to Dumas running, and he bangs up over the 30 and a quick 11 yards before DJ didn't make it 10. They give him only 2. They give it past the 30, so we'll give him 11. Both teams come out trying to establish the run. Scott County will prefer to run.
Yeah, well, what we saw on that time, Woodford County really just sealed it off. He had, it almost looked like he was a little surprised that he had that kind of room.
Right, 3-4 defense for the Cardinals. They give it off to Dumas again. This time he stacked up a half yard.
And again, that left side, Darren, was wide open. It was really just crashed down, and he went to his assignment.
Right.
But if that young man lifts his head, he'll see that the left side of that defensive line was not there. They had all slanted down left, and he ran into the slant that time.
Yeah. I was sworn I saw number 19, and I don't think I got all the correct numbers here for Scott County defensively. He did get a yard, 2nd and 9. Wertzler back to throw. Steps up, now throws out here in the flat, caught by Wyatt Crow. About the 46.
Give Wyatt Crow some credit on that, Darren. He did a great job using his body to screen that football. I took a hard swallow because I thought that everything was going to go the other direction. And Crow did a great job getting to the ball, making the catch, and possessing the football on that. That was a big-time catch.
Yeah, and a dangerous throw as well from Wertzler, but Garner had it zeroed in. It's 3rd and about 4 now for the Yellow Jackets on their opening drive of the ball game.
Oh. Well, that pass seemed to be there. A little coverage from number 14.
And a little woofing from the gentleman from Scott County.
Number 14.
Pass
That was
was
Jackson Dameron. That pass was on the mark. The little push by Jackson may have been there a little bit early. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Wertzler, if he brings that down just 3 inches, that's an easy catch.
Yeah. And the dangerous Buddy Collins back deep. Ford gets it off. High spiraling kick comes down to Collins here on the near side of the 32. So the Jackets get 1 first down, and they have to punt it away and give it back to the Cardinals, who just raced right down the field.
Well, I would expect, because it's early, I would expect a little more stunting up front. I would expect Woodford County to try to get some pressure upfield. If they're going to be effective against that running back, they're going to have to get upfield and get him before he can get into his stride. They're going to have to beat him to the outside. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to string him out like you'd like to see.
Right.
You can neutralize speed if you can make that speed work for you horizontally. But as soon as he gets vertical, man, that young man can fly.
Wingbacks, they give it off to Fryman. Hodge has him. His knee hit at about the 36-yard line, but they're going to give him the 37 where he fell forward after his knee hit. They give him 5.
Aaron Cheney's going to have to come out of the game. He's limping hard. I bet you just knocked knees or got a Charlie horse there. That's what it looks like to me.
He had a good game last week, too. Cardinals back out of the huddle quickly. Hughley in motion. Quick pitch. Running right. This is Fikert. Cuts it inside. Crow does a nice job of fighting off the block. Got a piece of the tackle, but Fikert will get 6 and get a first down.
Now, Crow did a great job of trying to keep his outside arm free. He let the blocker get to him. He got up underneath his pads, but he still did a good job out-muscling him and staying wide right, being a little bit disciplined. It's so tempting to try to go to the weak spot instead of try to push that outside. He did a good job. He saved a big gain.
Wing back to the left. In motion comes Fikert. They give it off on the counter play to Fryman, who just bowls his way up near midfield. They'll give him 7. It'll be 2nd down and 3.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of that. We've talked about this all season long, that if you're watching film against Woodford County, you're doing exactly what Scott County's going to do.
And that's what they do is run the ball. They've got about almost 2,400 yards rushing.
Yeah, that's not a surprise.
No, and if you can get them behind the chains and make them have to throw the ball, they're not comfortable. They can do it, but they're not. That's not their bread and butter. Fikert looked like he may have gotten a start going forward, and no flag here on the near side. They give it off. I believe that's Hughley again, and he has a first down.
No, they did a good job on that little counter, but they only needed about 4 yards. They got 4.5, and Woodford did a much better job of coming up and making the tackle. There were 3 Yellow Jackets on the football that time, and that's what they're going to have to do.
6:45, the clock moving. First quarter, 7-0 Cardinals. Jackets, it looks like they're tight ends offsides for the Cardinals. They give it off to Fryman. He's hit and just barrels forward for about 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Cardinals now.
Yeah, you weren't too far off on that, Darren. I thought he was well past the nose of the football there. The line judge has got to call that.
That's what I thought, too. But
we're sitting right at the 50-yard line there at about the 53.
Had a pretty good view of it.
My goodness.
It'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Cardinals from the Yellow Jackets' 43-yard line. Hickey sends a receiver to the left side. The tight end back here to the near side. Wing back to that left is Hughley. He's in motion. He stops, and they give it up to Hughley going left, and he gets outside and gets down inside the Woodford County 40. I think they're giving him the 39.
Now, again, Woodford County's they've got a spy on Hughley coming across. It looks like they're able to get through that chafe at the line to come up and make a tackle, but at third and four, Scott County still has their whole playbook available to them. They've been able to chew up 4 yards
and they're
at
probably
will.
4-down territory with Coach Jim McKee here. And the other thing is, too, you've got to get off that block. Keeping your outside arm free is one thing, but once you find the ball, you got to get him Hickey with a long count.
Yeah. Timeout.
And Scott County going to call timeout.
Good discipline by the Yellow Jackets. Good discipline.
Hickey made a lot of hard counts, but Jackets weren't biting. Woodford County Public Schools continues to invest in their students by giving them the tools to have a lifetime of success through Portrait of a Learner, which is a set of 5 competencies to help them reach that success. These competencies are a resilient learner, empathetic communicator, reflective collaborator, responsible contributor, and creative problem solver. WCPS believes strongly in the importance and significance that the portrait of a learner will play in the education of its students and is eager to embrace and implement the program as Woodford County continues to be a place where kids win. Got the word right this time.
You did. You got it. Collaborator.
Collaborator. I told everybody this might be the biggest game in the state tonight, just simply because of the fact it is a district championship on the line here. Cardinals can go 4-0 in the district. Woodford County can go 3-0 with a game next week in Lawrenceburg.
The big third down.
3rd and 4. Hickey calls out the signals. Pitches back to Hughley. Hughley, nice tackle in the open field by, that's Dorian Tomlin. A great tackle in the open field, and he got 3.
Yep, and you're right, 4-down territory, Darren. It looks like McKee is not going to mess around. I would expect him to come up and do a quick hitter right up the middle.
Yeah, he doesn't. Well, it's actually 4th and 2.
Yeah, 4th and 2.
He only got 2. But 4th and 2, Cardinals give it off to Fryman, and I don't think he got there.
No, it's going to be close.
It's going to be close,
spot.
but I tell you what, I don't like where the linesman is because he has no clue. I mean, Fryman's head got to the 36-yard line, but I don't think it got there.
They're going to measure it.
Timeout for a measurement.
Boy, this is going to be close, Darren. I can't tell from here, but it is tough to see.
Well, we're going to try to get a camera angle here if we can.
Well, camera angles are good.
Yeah.
Get right down on the football.
Get right down on the football if you can there for us, Kelly. That's about as good as we can get it, folks. We don't have those cameras down on the field. If we did, we'd be all right.
That is close, Darren. Wow.
Yeah, I don't like the spot because I think he got maybe to the 36 and a half. He needed to reach the 36.
It's also going to have a little bit about where he puts his chain here. There we go.
He's going to be short.
Wow.
And the Yellow Jackets hold. Tell you what.
I'll tell you, man, that was one heck of a stand.
I didn't see the guy who filled it. Was that Sturgis or Hodge?
I could not tell. I was watching.
It was one of the linebackers, the inside linebackers. I do know that. And a heck of a defensive stop for Woodford County.
That was huge, big. That especially when you're down 7-0, it looked like Scott County was moving the ball at will. They were getting their 4 yards at a pop, and now Woodford County just said, "No, thank you."
So now the offense back out on the field, 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line. Taylor in motion. Breaks a tackle in the backfield, cuts it up, cuts it back inside, breaks another tackle, dances ahead up near midfield.
That's that guy, to quote the great sportscaster Bob Ufer, he could run for 10 minutes inside a phone booth and never touch the sides. My gosh. He made about 15 cuts in about 6.5 inches there.
And the first thing I said when you said Bob Uecker, I was thinking.
No, Bob Ufer.
Bob Ufer. Who is Bob Ufer?
Bob Ufer was an all-time Michigan play caller from the University of Michigan for about 25, 30 years.
Got you now. I thought you said Bob Uecker, and somebody was going to ask me, well, how did he get the nickname Mr. Baseball? He gave it to himself.
That's right. No, Bob Ufer was
Bob Ufer.
Yeah. You look him up, and you'll find some great play calling.
Wertzler back to throw, and he throws a howitzer just over the head of Taylor, who had Dameron beat.
Leland Taylor didn't turn his head. He saw that ball at the last second. You're right, it was a howitzer, but my goodness, that's twice right on the helmet.
Right.
Wertzler just has to adjust a little bit forward. That play is going to be and that goes. Great story.
Woodford County. Second and 10.
That short side.
They give it off. And he's run out of bounds.
Boy, Leland Taylor, he can fly.
Is that Crow on the carry?
I think that was Taylor.
Taylor again?
Yeah, I think so.
He got 4. It'll be 3rd and 6 for Woodford County.
Here's the difference between Woodford County and Scott County here. 3rd and 6, it looks like they're behind the chains. Woodford County can throw the football with accuracy. Yeah. And twice now, it's taken Wertzler a couple of throws to get into his rhythm, but twice now he's had receivers running open.
Yep, and he's got to learn touches. I said that before. Wertzler back to throw. He throws behind
Didn't know who he was
Wyatt
throwing to.
Crow. It'll be 4th and 6 now for Woodford County.
You know, Woodford County cannot afford to give the ball back now, so I would not.
I
They're
think
going to punt it.
kick it. And I think it's
probably
with
smart.
3:46 left in the first quarter. That's probably a good move to try to back up the Cardinals.
Man, that is frustrating for Coach, I know, because, again, he had two Woodford County receivers who were open.
Well, it looked like Wyatt was trying to run a seam route, and Wertz looked like he was going to run a stick route or a curl, just turn and look for the football.
Maybe Wertzler changed his mind before he threw it.
Maybe. Here's a kick from
Go down.
Ford. It'll hit.
It hit him. Pick it up.
Almost. It'll stop at the 3 by Wyatt Peters.
Boy, that was close.
It closed. It almost hit. I believe that was number 26 for the Cardinals. That's Stevenson who almost caught a piece of him. It'll be 1st and 10 Cardinals from their own 3-yard line. Now the Jackets made a nice stand a while ago, Andy. They're going to have to make sure that they deal with this offense and keep them pinned back.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're going to have to do what they just did. They're going to have to come back and show Scott County that that last drive was not a fluke.
Right. 3:36 to play on a gorgeous sunset as we look just behind the left goalpost. They give it off to Hughley running left, and he's going to be stopped at about the 6. They're going to mark it at the 4 is where they marked it.
Yeah, something tells me Hughley is not used to 3 guys hitting him at once on the outside there. That was a good spot, but Woodford County doing a better job of getting upfield. They got to still do better because I don't care how big you are, how big their offensive line is. If they can't get to their spot, they cannot make their block. So if you're coming upfield and disrupting that, Woodford County will find themselves tackling for losses and short gains all night.
They actually gave him 4 on the gain, 2nd down and 6. Split backs in the backfield. They give it off to Fryman. Nope, Hickey's going to throw. He'll throw out here to the side. It's caught by number 2. That is Eli Lilly, who they also told me on the thing I got from Coach McKee that he was going to change to number 8.
Okay.
So, a little gamesmanship from Coach McKee.
I guess so. You said Eli Lilly out there.
Is who
That was an interesting play because it was almost like the Woodford County corner didn't believe that they were going to throw the ball.
First completion of the night for Hickey. 1st and 10 Cardinals. They turn, give it off to the fullback Fryman. He's met in the hole again by Davian. Is that Sturgis? Or is that Tomlin?
That would be
That's Tomlin again.
Yeah, Tomlin's coming up, man. He's playing on fire tonight.
The freshman.
Boy, he is. He's one of the best compliments you can give to any defensive player is to say he's everywhere.
Yeah,
and he really has been tonight so far.
Gave him 3 on the play. So it's 2nd and 7.
Boy, coming up from that safety position and making that tackle, man. My goodness.
And he's normally the joker defensively, but he's playing safety tonight. Hughley in motion. They pitch back. And he's not going anywhere. Davion Sturgis.
You know, they're harassing the quarterback. He's had a hat on him all night, almost every single play. Every time he gives up the ball, somebody's grabbing him by the ankle and tripping him. I can't quite see who's getting to him, but they're just beating that center and getting right past. They're just inches away from making a tackle before he can even make that handoff.
That was Timmy Amungo on the carry, and he was dropped for a 2-yard loss.
Second man.
Kelly, second man to Fryman. Nope, this is Fikert. And again, another hold on the corner here.
Oh, that's going to be a big penalty against Woodford County. He hit him way too late.
And we get a flag on Woodford. And was that Tomlin?
Yeah, number 4 or number 2.
Might have been Sturgis. But I tell you what, they got a block from number 33. And he literally had a bear hug on the defensive end. Going to add 15 more on. And I tell you what, if you let that go all night long.
I've played in games like that before where I have been in a place. Now, usually it was somewhere else where a coach had told somebody to go out and grab a linebacker. Go out and grab this. You can't beat him. Just go out and grab him.
Right.
And
Well,
got the sticks are changed.
Well, yeah, they were trying to get through the Scott County line side over there, and there were several coaches up in their way, and they couldn't get through.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what.
The
man,
box was set.
That's a tough one for Woodford County because they were doing a good job of jumping all over that, and it just
Cardinals
extends the drive. They don't need to be extended.
Coming this way.
First man.
Cross buck to Fryman, and he's gone. 20, 15, 10, 5, and Tomlin has him.
Yep, that was.
And for all of our people out there watching tonight, Andy, I want them to watch. Watch the two guards, the left guard and the right guard. Watch James at the right guard and Rodriguez at the left guard. For your information, James is number 50, Rodriguez is 73. We're going to get timeout Woodford County.
Yeah, they need to call this defense
and
here.
Here's the thing, what I'm trying to point out here. Watch the two guards. If they are kind of back set a little bit,
yeah, they're
getting ready to pull. And we used to call that light. If they're light on their hands, they're getting ready to pull. If they're heavy on their hands, which means they're sitting really out in their three-point stance heavy, they're getting ready to just fire off straight off the football.
Yeah, you can call that off tackles too. We used to call that airborne and recon.
Yeah.
So we'd say, airborne meant somebody's moving or going up into a pass, or recon meant they're coming at us hard.
Yeah, Woodford County being gashed by the running game for the Cardinals, but I'm telling you, if you let them get a hand on you, you're almost done.
Yeah.
Whether it's a legal block or not, you're almost done. If they get a hand on you, you're done. You've got to fight them. You got a hand fight. You got a chicken fight with them. If you don't, then they're going to dictate where they're going to run the football.
Absolutely, Darren. I think you're absolutely right. I think that
you have to fight. You can't just say, okay, he's got a hand on me, I'm blocked. You can't do that. You got to fight, or make a pile. Just go down on the ground, make a pile. First and goal from the Woodford County 3. Fryman again. He just bulls his way in. That's a load. He's 5'9", 210 pounds.
That's a big kid. It's a rock.
And the thing is, he's not tall, but you put that that 210 pounds on that 5'9" frame. The only guy I can think about now, the running backs in the NFL are not like that right now.
Not right now.
But I'm going to go way back to the guys like Robert Newhouse.
Well, look who's
like
being successful. Look who's being successful right now in at the college ranks. You've got a lot of 5'9", 5'10",
yes,
240-pound running backs that are super successful.
AKA Ray Davis.
Yeah, you've got Ray Davis, and you've got
good.
A couple of Michigan backs who are down there under 6 foot and 230, 240 pounds. Ray Davis has the ability to shift and make 16 cuts in the hole as well,
and catch the football out of the backfield.
Right. But those guys, you don't have to be 6'3" to be a punishing running back.
57.4 seconds to play in the first quarter. Woodford County down trails 14-0. They've moved the ball, but they've been their own worst enemy. Again, Wertzler trying to grow himself into the quarterback role. For those that don't know, Andrew Nason no longer with the team. Wertzler played very well last week, as well as the week before against South Oldham. By being thrust into the job at quarterback. So he threw from almost 300 yards last week against Collins.
Yeah, ran a spread offense last week. He was the player of the week.
Jabor comes down to Taylor at the 5. Cuts it off to the right side. Now cuts it back inside. Comes outside. He has a crease. He's going to be dragged down from behind.
My goodness, that young man can fly.
Yep. By number 28.
I mean, he can just flat fly, Darren. He made a couple of really good moves in there, but he's a physical runner too, and I think I've said that a few times.
He's a lot stronger than he looks.
Much stronger than he
really
looks,
is.
And much quicker. And his ability to move while he's almost at full speed, his ability to drop his hip, give you a jelly leg or something like that, he can really get there.
1st and 10, Woodford County from their own 40-yard line. I thought he got up over the 40. They marked him at the 40.
Little fumble.
Wertzler keeps it, pitches back to Crow. Crow gets up over the 45. About the 47-yard line.
I'll tell you what, that was Taylor again, Darren. But if I'm Taylor, I'm gonna say, dude, you got to keep that, man. You can't do that to me. He just kind of served him up there on a silver platter. You got to give some credit to Scott County's defense. They did a good job of getting upfield and stringing that flat instead of letting it get vertical quickly.
Well, he got 7, so it's first or second and 3 for Woodford County from their own 47-yard line. Under 15 seconds to play in the quarter. Wertzler gives off to Dumas.
Nope.
Keeps it himself, cuts it back again. 40-yard line down to about the 38-yard line.
Wertzler's got to learn to not to use his throwing arm, the stiff arm. It's going to get crushed. But he did a great job of picking up the yards he needed and more.
He got the first down. They're going to wind the clock. Why are they winding the clock? Why are they winding the clock? Because the box never moved.
Well, ball was never set either.
The ball was never set. The clock never. The box never moved. We're through one quarter of play. 14-0 in favor of Scott County. Jackets on the move here on the Yellow Jacket Sports Network. When it comes to sports injuries, being seen quickly is a vital part of getting back in the game. UK's healthcare, orthopedic surgery, and sports medicine program offers walk-in access to sports medicine programs, specialists, and other things at their Turfland location on Harrisburg Road in Lexington. The walk-in clinic is open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. with no appointment necessary. If you have questions or wish to schedule a sports medicine appointment, call 859-218-3131. UK Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine, the official healthcare provider. Also, by Jack Kane Ford, there are many things that set Jack Kane Ford apart from other dealerships, like the no-hassle, no-pressure environment when you go car shopping. The friendly sales staff makes sure you find the right vehicle for you, but above all else, Jack Kane Ford provides high-quality service, and that's what makes them one of the best dealerships in the country. So stop by today at 3405 Lexington Road or call 859-873-6666. My goodness, the officials, I think, are in a hurry to get home.
Yeah, they're setting the ball and going.
Yeah, they gave it to Dumas, and he gets nothing.
Well, Woodford County's offensive, they've got to get some of that spark back. It's got to be more than just emotion that's going to get Woodford County over this line here. They're going to have to just play some solid football. You can come out fired up and do what you want, and that works for about a quarter, maybe even a quarter and a half. But you've just got to be ready to play hard-nosed football. And Woodford County can be physical up front, so we'll see what they can do here.
Dumas got 1, second down and 9, just underway here in the second quarter of action. Wertzler out here in the flat. That's Taylor. He'll have the.
No, he's going to be about 2 yards, maybe a yard.
Let's see. They're going to put him at the 30?
Yeah.
I thought he got the forward momentum stopped at the 29.
No, looks like they're going to give him the 30-yard line, and that time again, you know.
3rd and 1.
If you're Scott County, the thing that they're going to have to do is that they're going to have to start to cover Taylor a little bit more. It's going to open up some more receivers. One of the things that we said last week was that Woodford County opened up several more receivers.
They're going to make it 3rd and 2.
Or 2 weeks ago. 3rd and 2.
I think they're in 4-down territory here. It's the Scott County 30. Wertzler gives it off to No, he keeps it. Cuts it outside. 1st down inside the 25. About the 24, maybe the 23-yard line.
Yeah, he got his 1st down. That's what he needed to do. And Scott County trying to be patient there actually hurt themselves. Those guys have got to come up and make a commitment. They can stand there like that, but Woodford County will go ahead and take 6 yards, 7 yards with that because Wertzler's working upfield, and his back is doing a good job of keeping his distance and staying a step behind so he can still pitch it at any moment. And that is freezing the linebacker, and it looked like a corner out there for Scott County.
And I think that was Crow out there who should have probably taken a couple more steps backwards to be in pitch relation. They give it off to Taylor, running right, cuts it up inside. He gets down inside the 20, down to about the 19-yard line. That'll be 5. It'll be 2nd down and 5 for Woodford County.
Now, Scott County did exactly what you were talking about Woodford County needing to do there, and they broke the speed back into the tacklers and keeping him from making a 20-yard gain, which he's more used to.
But that being said, no matter if you're doing that, that linebacker's got to be making that tackle for Scott County.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't,
it's touchdown.
if you're not sure, Taylor's got enough speed to break it the rest of the way. 2nd and 5. They give it off to Hash, and he gets down to about the 16-yard line.
Hash looked a little bit hesitant there as he was running. I don't know if he was trying to find a blocker or what.
I think he was expecting to get hit, and he didn't have anybody there in a white jersey. It'll be third down. I got to quit talking about Michael King because every time I do, he shows up.
You said his name 3 times.
I know I did. I got to be careful in doing that. 3rd and 3. $8:48 to play in the first half. They give it off to Hash, and he's going to get to about the 15-yard line.
You know, we were talking about 4th down territory before here. What do you think there, Darren?
They're going to give it to 16. Are you serious? They gave him where his knee hit, but the ball was at the 15. They're going to mark it at the 14. No, they're going to move back to the 16. Good grief. I tell you, I give up trying to figure out what officials do with the football. 4th and 2. Big play here. And kind of surprised Dumas is not in there right now, the 245-pound senior. Timeout, Woodford County. I think Dennis is thinking the same thing. What do you think?
Yeah, probably. You're probably right. But we got a good opportunity here since you said Michael Kane appeared.
Well, real quickly, let me do this commercial real quick. Carroll Floor Covering. If you're looking for the perfect floor coverings for your next project, then you need to call the folks at Carroll Floor Covering. Since 1980, Carroll has provided a small family-owned and operated business. Whether it's tile, carpet, laminate, hardwood, LVP, or vinyl, Carroll has it for you in a variety of colors. Contact Carroll today for a free estimate at 859-873-6919. Also by J&B Marathon Cafe. A day is best started with a full stomach, and J&B Marathon Cafe can help. They offer the best breakfast in town, from biscuits and gravy to BLTs, served 7 days a week by their friendly staff. So get yours today and get it started in the right direction. Come on over to J&B Marathon Cafe, 200 Lexington Street in historic downtown Versailles, where you can't just eat good food, you have to talk about it.
Absolutely.
4th and 1 for Woodford County from the Scott County 16. Wertzler, he's going to get the first down, I believe. He's going to be close.
Yeah,
Cardinals think they've stopped him, but I think he needed to get just inside the 20 or inside the 15, and it looks where the linesman is lined up. Both of them, they've got the first down.
Yeah, absolutely.
First down, Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, McKee is calling the linesman over and saying, "Man, you gave him an extra 6 or 8 inches." I'll tell you what, that's been happening all night on both sides.
Well, I don't think that was close. I think he got the first down because he got well inside the 15-yard line where he needed to go, and that's where they marked it at the 14. 1st and 10, Woodford County with 7:47 to play before halftime. Jackets trail by 2 scores. Wertzler throws out here in the flat. That's Thurman. He'll get down to about the 5. They're going to mark him at the 6.
Looks like they're going to give him.
Or are they going to give him the 5?
They're going to give him probably about the 6. We'll call it the 6, but some people will call it the 5.5.
Let's see what they got. They put it right on the 5.
There you go. That's a heck of a spot there.
Yeah, that's a really nice spot. Gain of 9. 2nd and 1.
Wow, they can still get a first down here. Woodford County is really happy to do it just like this, Darren, to just kind of chop things up.
Yeah.
Keep the ball out of that offense's hand.
Dumas, they give it off to Taylor, running right, stretched out, and he'll be dropped for a loss.
Yeah, that's that short side of the field. They love to do it.
Stevenson on the tackle.
Stevenson did a great job coming up
Well,
and making that tackle, but you could have called that.
Yep.
You could have called that on defense. I don't care if you've never seen a football game before. You know what's going to happen.
3rd. And about 5 now for Woodford County, a loss of 4. Here's the thing. Actually, they gave him the line of scrimmage, didn't he? No, loss of 4.
Yeah.
Now 3rd and 5. 7:03 to play in the first half. Woodford County looking to get on the board here. Here's the thing, too. Watch Scott County's defense when Woodford's running the ball. They are flowing real hard to the play side. Go too deep. Wertzler on the slant.
Oh, had a man.
Dropped. They had him.
That was a great throw.
And that is Starks. They're going to send in the field goal unit.
Great throw on Wertzler's part. That
Can't
time
throw it
Starks
any better.
Got to pull it in.
It hit him right in the 1. But for all you young folks out there who are receivers or backs coming out of the backfield to catch the football, Don't let it get into your body. Catch it with your hands. It'll be a 27-yard field goal for Logan Ford, who on the year is 2 for 2. Wertzler will hold. Kick is up.
Missed it.
And he
Wide
missed
right.
it wide right. Hit it well, and the Cardinals defense holds, but a nice drive by Woodford County. But now, if you're the Jackets, here's what you can't do. You can't let coming up empty affect your defensive stance right now. You've got a chance to still get points in this half.
Absolutely.
I'm kind of
Absolutely.
surprised even on 4th and 5, Dennis didn't go for it inside the 20. Because he has a history going for it in the middle of the field
Yeah. Right.
on 4th and 5. So I figured, 4th and 5 from inside the 15, he'll go for it. But no. 1st and 10 Cardinals.
Outside wide, 13. Why coaches love that wing tee. They think it's confusing to high school offenses. It is.
And it is.
Excuse me, high school defenses, and it is. But when you've got a team that runs it like you said, all the way down from the time they're little kids, it's not confusing for their offense. And
Right.
the defense is having a hard time. It's slow developing. That's what I'm saying about getting upfield and getting into the field of getting the traffic there.
Wing back to the left. They give it off to Fryman. And he's still going. He'll get 2.
30 on the tackle.
That's Reese Allen on the stop for the Jackets. Gain of 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8 for Whitford. Defense here. And, the Cardinals, they've thrown one pass. Back when Jim McKee used to be at Oldham County and then his early days at Scott County, if they didn't have to throw it 0 times, he was happy. They will throw it now when they have to, but their preference is running the ball.
Not do it at all.
2nd and 8. Backs are split. Fiker at the wing back from right to left.
Second
Delay to Hughley, and he's going nowhere. He got a yard. Actually, they only gave him 2, so it'll be 3rd and 7 now for the Cardinals. Big 3rd down play here for Whitford County. Force the Cardinals to punt.
Yeah. Like you were saying, get them behind the chains, and that's what they've done here.
Hickey back to throw. Looks out in the flat on the wheel route. He has his man. And you know what? I'm not so sure he didn't step out of bounds before he came back in.
No, we're on the other side of the field.
He went really wide over there. And a big pass play gets the Cardinals down.
Again, catching Woodford County not believing they're going to throw the ball.
And we got no pass rush. But you're again, you got to watch those guards. Those guards are going to tell you where they're going to go, whether they're going to run the ball. If they're heavy on their hands, they're going to pass block.
Absolutely.
Four and a half to play. And the Cardinals taking a long time here.
Yeah, they're going to call timeout.
They might call timeout with 4.5 to play. Now the Jackets are doing exactly what I said they couldn't do. You can't let your inability to get points on your last drive affect you defensively, and it's doing that.
Yeah, absolutely, Darren. I mean, it looks like it's gotten in their head. They're dragging a little bit. That emotion that's going away, they just have to play their game.
Well, they've shown themselves that they can move the football on the Cardinals. The trouble is with 2 of the drives they've had here in this first half, they've been unable to finish.
Yeah. Well, you get down there, and a lot of things can happen. The calls coming in from the sideline can be jittery because the coach is excited. That hasn't been an issue this year for Woodford County calling the plays in. quarterback taking the plays in, though, can get a little jittery. And when you have somebody who's not been playing quarterback all year, it's not hard to have it happen.
Right. Each team now with just one timeout remaining. It doesn't really matter at this juncture of the game. 1st and 10, Cardinals from the Woodford County 30. Wing back to the left is Fikert. Well, I think he gets a head start every time he goes in motion. Again, he was in motion, and then he just takes that half step, and that's the key to starting to play.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the linesman on the far side is watching for. That's actually neither lineman have gotten that. Give him 5 on the play. 2nd and 5 for the Cardinals, excuse me. Watch Fikert. He's the wing back. Here he goes from left to right in motion. And then again, he gets that start. They give it off. This is number 3.
Garrett?
Yes. And neither fullback for the Cardinals are very big. Garrett goes 5'6", 165 pounds.
Well, they've got a model. Woodford County, that's a state champion wrestler.
Yeah. He got a first down. It's 1st and goal from the Jackets' 10-yard line. Jackets in danger of going down 3 scores here in the first half. Hickey gives it off to Hughley. Running left. He breaks a tackle in the backfield. Now just outruns everybody to the end zone touchdown.
Allow another score. It's one thing to not score on your trip down, Darren, but it's another one to give up a score like that to a team like Scott County.
Well, Cardinals lead 20-0 now with 3:26 to play. And DeBoer on to attempt the extra point. He's perfect on the year. Kick is up, and Dumas
Very close.
Yeah, got through there and somehow missed it. 21-0 Scott County. I tell you what, I just saw Jabur. He looked over at the Woodford County sideline and said something as he was running back down the field. Don't see kickers do that much, you know?
There are very few kickers who can back it up.
Yeah. To do that. 21-0 Cardinals, and the Jackets have shown some resistance after that first drive, but the second drive, the Cardinals got a break on a personal foul penalty that led that up to that scoring drive. Now the Jackets need a big one. You have here on the near side that looks like Tom. That's not Tom. That's Wade, I think. No, that's Thurman maybe. And back in the middle of the field, that is Taylor, who catches it at the 7. Angles off here to the near side. That is not a block in the back.
Yeah, that's what they're going to get him for.
They're going to get him a block in the back, but that's the white hat. And
so we're going to have offsetting. We're going to have offsetting fouls. They hit him out of bounds here. Continuing the play about 7-8 yards.
What are we going to do? Kick it again? What happens there?
I don't know. They got another. Now we got a third flag down here, probably for jawing on the way out. It looks like 50. On number 10. So we've got either that. I don't know if he brought that out off of the sidelines and threw it, or if he threw another one. If it's a third flag, then that'll come off the end of the run.
Here's my question: the run happened with a block in the back, and then you have a dead ball, personal foul on the Cardinals. Then you have
potentially a third one here.
Another dead ball, and maybe an unsportsmanlike conduct. So what do we do? Kick it off?
Well, we'll see.
Move them back 30 yards to the 10.
We'll see here. Because they're dead ball, it's after the play, so the play should stand. If the dead ball fouls, it stand. Yeah. We'll see.
Well, the white hat called a block in the back, and there is no way he could have seen if there was contact made or not.
That is a third flag, Darren, down there. I thought that the line judge might have been pulling out the flag out to the 50 so that we could see it. We'll see what
there are 3 fouls on the play. Block in the back, which I don't agree with. I thought it was a bad call. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike on the Cardinals. Personal foul on the Cardinals. And what are they going to do?
I don't know. After the flag, so I guess they come back from this spot. Or they either come back from.
But that doesn't aid Woodford County at all. To me,
Why do they shouldn't be walking this
they're
up.
walking the block in the back. Now they're going to go 30 yards, and only Woodford gets to the 40. Both the Scott County fouls were dead ball fouls. So why does that not take precedence over the live ball foul right now?
I don't know. I guess they're just saying that because it was a live ball foul and the two came after the whistle.
Because if you go
you let
10
one,
yards for the block in the back, we move it to the 50. Then you go 30 yards on the two dead ball fouls.
Yeah.
Well, hold on a minute. Now wait. There's no way that goes to only the 40-yard line.
Yeah, that's 30 yards forward from the 10.
Okay, I still don't.
Yeah.
I still don't get that. To me, boy, I missed the guy down the sidelines. We could find out what the explanation was. 1st and 10, Woodford County. That to me, the two dead ball fouls. I don't know. 1st and 10, Woodford from the 40. Dumas running left, which is not his game, but he gets 7.
Dropped the ball.
I thought he dropped it after he got hit on the ground.
Yeah, there's no whistle.
Well, the linesman didn't mark it that way, and that's horrible. I thought the ball came out after he hit the ground because nobody reacted until the ball. Oh, wow.
It's tough to see. I'm watching a little delay here.
Yeah. I thought he hit the ground, the ball came loose, which the ground cannot cause the fumble. Hickey gives it to the fullback, and he's not going anywhere. They're going to give him the 30, but I thought he actually was stopped at the 31. It would be a loss of a yard, but they're going to give him the
31. They're going to put it on the 31.
So it's a loss of 1.
Woodford County really, really needs to play for a little pride here and stop Scott County. Get the ball back or stop them.
Well, they're going to pull because look at the left guard. There he goes. Give it off to Garrett. Gets down to the 26. Gain of 5. It'll be.
See, if I'm Scott County's offensive coordinator, I'm watching Woodford County get up. There's guys getting off of the deck and still looking for the football.
Right.
So I'm going to continue with what I'm doing, especially if it's causing that kind of confusion. I'm watching defensive linemen get up and go, "Where's the ball?" And that's not good for Woodford County.
3rd and 6. Garrett.
Right, Mom. Those whistles
It'll be a yard shy. Those whistles are real late.
I don't see Jim McKee doing anything but running the same play over and over again here.
I agree. If it's not broke, don't fix it. 4th and 1 from the Woodford County 22-yard line. They need the 21. And at 32 in the clock running, Scott County going to take as much time off the clock as they can. Garrett the fullback. Hughley to his right. Fikert. They give it off to
second man. Around the end. Touchdown.
Fikert. And he'll get inside the 10, down inside the 5 to about the 3.
That's again, Woodford County did not get penetration, let the play develop. Early on in the game, quarterback was having a difficult time even getting that ball back there. And Woodford County was just beating on the defensive line, just beating the Scott County offensive line to the football or from the football.
They actually have an illegal block in the back. I didn't see that.
No, I didn't see the flag come up. But Woodford's just getting kind of pushed back.
Oh, they're calling it on Woodford? Boy, you do not see a holding call on the defense very often unless it's a pass.
Especially not in high school.
I have never seen that. Cardinals have had one penalty tonight. Hickey will give off to Fikert running right. He'll get bumped out of bounds.
Now that time,
Davion Sturgis.
Woodford did a great job of coming up field and breaking up the play. Well, they gained a couple of yards on that, but a much better job of getting in the traffic.
Second and 8
play
for the Cardinals.
Wing T you don't see often in college just because it takes so long to develop, and with the speed of
A lot of those guys, yeah. Georgia Southern used to run it to perfection. They give it off to Garrett up the middle. He gets to about the 10. Give him 6. It'll be third and about 3. Actually, third and a couple.
well, Woodford County does a good job of keeping Scott off, and now it looks like it's going to be a 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4.
And they bring the hammer in and Fryman, the big fullback. They give it off to him, running right. Bounces off a guy, bounces off a 2, gets down close to the goal line. It'll be 1st and goal. Daney had a shot at him and couldn't wrap him up.
Playing on their heels a little bit right now, Darren.
Yep, 1st and goal now. Eichert running left. Touchdown. 27-0.
Well, Woodford County's going to have to decide who they are tonight, Darren.
Yep.
This is going to be 7 seconds left in the half. They're just going to have to decide who they are. They're going to, and it against a team like Scott County, it's a tough call, but you still have to. They're going to have to go down there and decide that they're still a football team.
Yeah, you're either going to fight in the second half, or you're going to let Scott County name their score. Snap, kick is up. The kick is good. Tell you what, I've never seen this before, but you usually see the kicking tee lined up 7 yards behind the snapper, right? DeBoer puts it back at the 11, so he's 8 yards back. So that 1 yard makes a big difference in trying to get there to block the extra point.
Absolutely, it absolutely does. If you can't get upfield, it doesn't matter.
Well, Dumas is getting upfield. The problem is he can't. You know, you got that 1 yard more. Woodford trails with 7.1 to play in the first half. DeBoer will kick off. You know, he's got a great leg, but he hasn't reached the end zone once on his kickoffs.
So right now he's kicking into the wind a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a slight wind in his face, but yeah.
But he only kicked once on his 2 kickoffs in the first quarter into the end zone.
Yeah,
They're going to squib it. Tomlin will pick it up, and he's going around the left corner. 40, 35, 30, 25, 10. He's going to be run out of bounds.
As time expires.
And they're going to say time has expired because I know this crew.
Oh, yeah, they will.
That had .2 when he went out of bounds. They're going to call this. Are they going to
see
call
here.
it a quarter, or is it?
They're going to give Woodford County a shot.
They're going to give him a shot to throw into the end zone. Nope, they're going to stop it. It looks like they're going to get it and say he's running out of bounds. Now, Coach McKee's going to. The last time he was here, he's going to. And I'll tell you, I will say this: the last time Jim McKee coached a game in this stadium, it's very infamous because it got a rule into the high school rule books, not just Kentucky, but high school rule books for football, that you cannot deceive by throwing an object on the field. He threw the kicking tee on the field at the last minute to throw a touchdown pass for the Cardinals to win 13-7 here.
Well, there have been a couple of times I've seen stuff like that.
Yep.
You can't call an offside kick or offside call can be declined.
Yeah.
That used to be the case against.
In high school, it should not be because that offside penalty is actually a dead ball because as soon as somebody breaks into the.
Well, and so here's the thing: is that in high school you can't, you can decline it on a kick.
On a kickoff.
You know, if you're trying to kick the
Well,
ball,
most
if you're trying to
coaches-
kick a field goal. So, against Franklin County,
Yeah.
Woodford County was trying to kick the ball and tried to kick it 3 times. And Franklin kept jumping offside to ice the kicker. It went through twice, and on the 3rd try, it didn't go through, and they didn't jump offside.
Scott County is going to call timeout here, up 28-0 here on the Yellow Jacket Sports Network. Don't know why they're doing that, but anyway. Falling Springs Rec Center is a 72,000 square foot recreation and performing arts theater located in the Woodford County Park just outside Community Stadium to our left on the picture here. It offers fun for every member of your family, from basketball, swimming, pickleball, weights. There's even a 300-seat theater. The center even also includes meeting and party rooms. Annual memberships are available, as are 20 visit cards and summer passes. Facilities are also available for birthday parties, baby showers, and other events. Check out Falling Springs today at their website, vwcparksrec.com. For more information, or call them today at 859-873-5948. Falling Springs, it's more than just a gym.
Yep, here's Woodford County's shot at taking the donut off the board, Darren.
With them getting the ball to start the second half, too.
Yeah, and they do get the football. That's right.
1st and 10 from the 12. Scott playing prevent in the back of the end zone. Wertzler has room. 10, he going to get hit out of bounds. I tell you what, that guy from the Cardinals, yeah, it was close. So he closed real quickly, the guy with the corner, but the other guy came in, looked like he launched at the head.
Yeah, that looked like a targeting call to me, too.
Yeah, close.
And we got flags.
We have flags after the half?
Yeah, we got flags right now. I don't know where it's coming from or who it's going to be on, but we got flags.
Wait a minute, what are we going to do?
It was after the Woodford County guys were getting up out of there. Yeah, looks like unsportsmanlike.
Beyond Scott Kennedy enforced on the kickoff to start the second half.
Yep. Well, it looks like it's homecoming here tonight, Darren. Homecoming's a huge deal here in Woodford County, and it's good. It's always a tradition to have a massive pep rally. Used to MC those things for about 8 or 9 years, and that's always a lot of fun. And Woodford County puts a lot of themselves. The students put a lot of themselves into their homecoming night.
Yep.
And
well, Woodford County going to have to do some regrouping here at halftime and get back in this ball game. Now, they've not played bad. You know, they played into a little bit of the jaw jacking. They got a late hit out of bounds over here. Now, they kept their composure from all the woofing going on. But, you know, you have a turnover, which if we could have gotten a better look at it, I don't believe was a turnover. It looked like Dumas hit the ground, which the fumble, you know,
Right.
The ground cannot cause the fumble, which led to the final score of the first half for the Cardinals. You had a nice run by Scott Cannon. Then you gave them a chance at a shorter field by hitting somebody out of bounds, adding 15 yards onto them there at the end of on their third drive of the ball game. The first game you showed no resistance. The second time they moved the ball on a couple of long passes one long pass that helped.
yeah, absolutely, Darren. And Scott County's just efficient.
Yeah.
They're
They know their identity. They don't get away from it.
right, and that's it. And they start staying within themselves. Even when they got behind the sticks there, after a penalty and a great Woodford County defensive play, it's 2nd and long or 3rd and long, and they just stay within their pads and do their thing, and get another 8 yards and are able to put it over the top. They know they're not going to punt the ball inside of 5 yards, inside of 3
Right.
yards. You know, they know it's not going to happen, and that puts a lot of stress, a lot of pressure on the defensive team. But you cannot discount the efficiency of their team. If Woodford County can't get upfield and break up the slow developing plays, they are going to be in for a very, very long night. Now, the thing that can stop that is for Woodford County to find some identity here tonight as a tough and a fighting team.
Yeah, you got to get upfield, and if you don't get upfield, you've got to get in the backfield to make that back go a little bit deeper or foul up that handoff, because the whole key to this wing T offense that Jim McKee has run since his days at Oldham County is this. It's called sleight of hand, and your quarterback has to be really good at hiding the football. And Hickey has done a really nice job here in the first half. 2 reasons. One, we're not getting penetration and knocking some linemen back in the backfield to create a problem from him drawing away from center. And the second thing is we've got to get off blocks on the corner. We cannot sit here and hand fight with them.
That's right.
You've got to make that official make a call on the side. You've got to fight and move to get away from them. You can't just stand there and go, okay, I'm going to find the ball and block this guy. You've got to make the official make a call.
That's right.
Put it in his hands.
Yep.
And if he doesn't make the call, then you've done your job trying to get away from the defender. Mm-hmm. And now that's up to your coaching staff for Woodford County to get in the ear of the official and say, look, my guy's trying to pull away.
Right.
This guy's pulling him back, and there's no way.
But here's the thing, Darren.
But you got to fight.
We can talk about that all we want.
Yep.
And what it's going to come down to is tonight is that Woodford County coming out in the third quarter has got to come out with an identity that isn't lay down, because this isn't the first time this isn't the last time I think that they could see Scott County.
I think
right?
they may see him again.
We could see Scott County again. So these guys have got to stand up and just say, look, you guys don't, you're not seeing us. So we're going to show you who we are.
Right. And the thing is, too, you've got a lot of parts moving with that wing tee. And, again, we keep saying this on the air. To figure out where that football's going, you watch the two guards. They are the key to the whole offense. Yeah, the backs hit the hole hard, but they know where they're going to go when they're pulling. So they know that if that left guard is pulling to the right, but we're going to run in that to the right hip of the center, that guard is looping around. He's already cheating back half a yard, so that it's going that way.
Yeah. Yep. And they're looking for 3.5 to 4 yards of play. They don't need 6 yards.
And they've gotten a chunk yardage
fine.
here in the first half, and they have owned the first half. They rushed for 286 yards on 33 carries. Hickey's 2 for 2 through the air for 46 yards. They've had one fumble, didn't lose it. I don't remember them having a fumble. Do you? Woodford had the fumble and lost it.
Yeah. There's a telling stat there at the bottom of that list. Their red zone scores inside the 20. Woodford County's 0 for 2.
Yep, they're 0 for 2. Scott County's 2 for 2. When you have that kind of stuff, that kind of numbers against you, that's not good. Woodford Family Physicians, fine staff, has been serving the citizens of Woodford County for over 20 years, providing local quality services and comprehensive diagnostic, preventative, and therapeutic care. Call 859-873-9188 today to schedule your appointment or visit us at 117 Crossfield Drive, Suite B. Woodford Family Physicians, your one-stop for comprehensive family care. Mr. Appliance is one of the most trusted and experienced providers of appliance repair in Georgetown, Kentucky. Since 1996, they've built quite a reputation for themselves by putting customers first and taking pride in doing quality work. Mr. Appliance offers a wide range of residential and commercial services: refrigerator repair, dishwasher repair, washing machine and dryer repair, oven repair, and much more. But best of all parts and labor are 100% guaranteed to the customer's satisfaction. Call today at 859-657-1741 and discover the Mr. Appliance difference. Ricardo's, a unique southern dining experience, awaits in historic Versailles for your dining pleasure. Combined with an upbeat atmosphere, then you have Ricardo's. Located just outside downtown Versailles, and Ricardo's features everything from burgers to salads. They also offer entrees like fish and chips and the famous hot brown. Take your family to Ricardo's tonight at 110 Frankfort Street or call 859-873-3663. Woodford Seal Coat. Are you tired of looking at a worn-out driveway, lane, or parking lot? Then call Woodford Seal Coat for a free estimate. Woodford Seal Coat services both commercial and residential customers that need crack filling, hole patching, sealing, and striping, I should say. Set your free estimate today by calling 859-873-7456 or by email at woodfordsealcoat.com. Help correct your investment by calling Woodford Seal Coat, a proud sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. And by Versailles Brewing Company. If you're wanting a unique dining experience, then Versailles Brewing Company is just the place. Located in the heart of horse country, VBC provides you a menu selection second to none, that is made all with ingredients grown right here and raised in Woodford County. You can dine in, carry out, pick up, or by curb service. Versailles Brewing Company, 513 Marcells Road, 859-256-0169. Also by James K., Woodford County Judge Executive in the Fiscal Court. Working for Woodford County's families. That's James K., the Woodford County Judge Exec. We want to thank James K. also for stopping into the Woodford County Senior Center this morning, actually, and hanging out for about an hour with our seniors on the fundraiser over there at the Woodford County Senior Center, just to the left here as you come in to Woodford County Park and Community Stadium. I want to thank James for all that and all the work he's doing for the folks of Woodford County. Also, Cindy Sharrock, Rector Halen Realty. Want to thank her for all her help that she does for Woodford County. But also, too, want to give a big shout-out to Don Lane, Coach Don Lane, the former Transylvania basketball coach. He has been tremendous in the Central Kentucky area, but also in Woodford County. His family is longtime residents of Woodford County. And the thing, too, that I want to tell everybody, I'm going to try to find out how I can get a book. I'm going to text him, but he has a book out, the Coach Don Lane, and right offhand, I think it's called Lane the Family Way. The Lane Way, that's what it's called. And I heard it's a great read. It just came off the presses, but we'll see. Coach Lane, if you're listening to me, I'd love a copy. Real quickly, let's talk about the next home football game coming up in 2 weeks. It'll be the final home game of the regular season for the Jackets. They'll take on the Bruins of Ballard High School. And last year we talked about in the pregame with Andy and about this guy's work, Michael Kane, I should say, not Mike, Michael Kane.
Either way.
I know, but you're still that little boy running around with the dirty face on the ball field that I remember. But Michael Kane joining us here at halftime. Give us an update. I know the 27th is when you're going to recognize the veterans, and that is open, as usual, to the veterans that will be coming here from Ballard as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So we did this first time last year, and it turned out great. So we're trying to get it going and do it again this year. And it's just one of those things where we want to bring awareness and to be able to thank veterans for their service to serve in this country. I know things are going crazy in the world right now, and there's one thing that can absolutely bring people together, and that is the veterans that served to protect our freedom. So obviously Veterans Day is in November, but last year when we did it, it was actually the first preseason game.
Yeah, postseason,
Or postseason game, sorry. And, we caught some flack for that, so we tried to mitigate that this year and do it during the regular season. So even though it's not in November, not, closer to Veterans Day, it doesn't need to be on Veterans Day for people to thank veterans. So absolutely, we can do that anytime we want to. So I figured we could do it as close to November as we wanted to. So I got with Coach Johnson, and him and I both agreed that the last home season game of the season, or the home game of the regular season, we would do this. So I am coordinating stuff to get military vehicles here to where we can show a military presence here, just to let people see our vehicles and get some exposure to that. But also I welcome and invite every veteran that is willing to come. Last year we did we walked all the veterans out into the middle of the field and during the Army song medley. So it was all the songs from all the Armed Forces songs meshed together into one song, and that was neat. We had a World War II veteran that led the way out there with me, so that was really cool.
Do you remember the gentleman's name?
I've slept since
was
then.
he from Versailles?
Yeah, he was from Versailles.
If that veteran's still
yes, absolutely,
and listening to us, we want you to come back out in 2
please.
weeks, and please tell Michael your name so he can text me and give me your name, please, because he's younger than I am and his memory's worse than mine.
Absolutely. I've been through a thing or two. So.
I agree. I understand. Michael, how can they get in touch with you to be able, if they want to go ahead and tell you that they'll be, first off, how do they get in?
So you can get in. Last year, what we did, we partnered with the American Legion, and they represented us out there at the front gate. And if you are a veteran and show your veteran credentials, then you can get in for free.
Okay.
And that'll be the same this year. Whether it doesn't matter if you're from the visiting team or the home team. Veterans are veterans. So
Right.
that's going to be the same this year. So I will definitively double check and make sure that Coach Johnson has worked that out with the people working the front gate. But yeah, so you can get a hold of me through the American Legion. You can get a hold of me through, I'll throw my email out there. I don't care.
Go ahead.
My email is my name. It's Michael, MICHAEL, .m as in Mike, .Cain, CAIN, the number 1 at gmail.com. Again, that's Michael, MICHAEL, .m, .Cain, CAIN, the number 1 at gmail.com. Reach out to me if you want information, if you want directions here, if you want anything, reach out to me, and I will absolutely do my best to respond in a prompt timing. So,
And if for some reason you don't get that and you know how to contact me, then contact me.
yes, please.
And I'll give you the company email. It's ddsportsproductions ddsportsproductions at AOL.com. ddsportsproductions at AOL.com. So that will be the email that we get for that. So now I'll put you in touch with Michael, and we'll go from there. But it's a great thing that you do, and we appreciate our veterans.
Absolutely.
And we do know that our men and women currently right now serving overseas in the line of fire right now in several locations. And we want to extend our not condolences, but our gratitude, our pride, and hopefully that God has his hand on those folks and keep them safe and bring everything that's going on around the world under control.
I've got one more year and I retire.
One more year and you
20
retire.
years, yep,
Okay,
20
20
years.
years. And you're that old already?
Yep.
Man,
I know, man. We just had our 20-year reunion out there on the field, so
makes me feel old.
I graduated in 03 and
Man.
went straight into the Army. So
That's okay. I graduated 40 years ago.
yeah, well, I'm catching up to you.
No, you'll never catch up to me.
Darren, I
Michael,
greatly
again,
appreciate it.
Thank you, buddy.
I got to get down here with the family, so because they're probably wondering where I'm at because I just disappeared. So
Well, that's okay.
yeah, well,
You'll reappear eventually.
yep, every time. It's
All right.
like a lost dog, always come home, right?
There you go. Michael, thank you, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Michael Cain and all the work he does for the veterans here around in Versailles. We appreciate that. High energy bills, uncomfortable rooms, or concerns over indoor air quality? Then call Weatherization Plus at 859-214-4446 or stop by 124 Frankfurt Street in Versailles to schedule your free in-home consultation, which will include air and duct sealing, crawl space encapsulation, whole house and attic fans, vapor barriers, along with insulation and insulation extraction. We will get you to the root of your energy problems and leave you feeling confident you made the right choice. By guaranteeing no change of orders or hidden fees, their estimate is what you pay. Custom solutions tailored to your home energy problem, and they will treat you and your home with respect, leaving it better than when they found it. That's Weatherization Plus, improving your home's performance. Woodford Car Company, whether you have a specific vehicle in mind, want a little help finding a great vehicle to suit your family needs, or just toying with the idea of trading in your current one, then contact Woodford Car Company. At Woodford Car Company, we want to make the car buying experience as painless as possible, simple, and fun. Stop in today at 404 Lexington Road, Suite 101, or call 859-413-4218 and let their seasoned staff help you with your shopping needs. Also want to thank Paul Wright and Dairy Queen, Frankfurt Street, just up from Woodford County High School, and the one out on Huntertown, or at the corner of Huntertown Road and US 60. That's Dairy Queen, where Sweets never tasted so good. It's Woodford County and Scott County here at halftime. Cardinals lead over the Jackets 28-0. Woodford, some self-inflicted gunshots to themselves. But the Jackets have a chance here with the Cardinals that will be kicking off, I believe, from their own 25-yard line here to start the second half. If I understood the signal that the White Hat gave us here at the close of the first half. So Woodford County right now looking to get some semblance of normalcy to what they've done here in 2023 here in half number 2, but they got a big hill to climb. That last touchdown the Cardinals were able to score right before halftime really made this mountain higher than it should be, Andy.
Yeah, I think you're right, Darren. The last little bit, there's 2 touchdowns. What was that, in less than 3 minutes?
Something like that.
For Scott County, really hurt. And Woodford County, like you said, some self-inflicted wounds, but at the same time, 2 trips down to the red zone that they couldn't score on, a couple of drop passes, a couple of bullet passes that were just slightly off the mark. And this is a 21-14 game, not a 28-0 game.
Right.
Scott County's a good football team.
Oh, they're
and
no
you know
doubt
that
about
coming in. But Woodford County's got to decide that they belong on this same football field with this team. And once they make that decision, I think just through attitude, they've got the skill, they've got the talent. They just got to show that. They've got to show themselves here.
You know, you had a late hit out of bounds for Woodford County on a drive that kept Scott County's drive alive instead of making them drive the football down the field.
Yep.
That helped. And when you give 15 free yards to a team like Scott County, that's almost like banking it into putting it in the bank.
Yeah, and Woodford County's kind of has been that team over the last 2 years, especially, and just kind of going away from what they do.
Right. And they will be kicking off from their own 25-yard line. Back deep are Hellig here on the near side, and in the middle of the field is Taylor. And you've
got Tomlin up front, who could be a factor. You've got
the idea,
Starks, who could be a factor.
You get the idea that with Taylor right in the middle of the field and Hellig right on the hashes, they're telling Taylor, if you can get to the ball, call off Hellig, and you take the football, and we'll take our chances with you. Third quarter about ready to get underway here. And Jabur will approach the football. They'll kick it over here to Hellig, and it'll hit and go out of bounds. I would send it back 5 more.
Yeah.
Send it back 5 more.
Make him kick it again.
Because you're only going to gain about 10 yards. I'd make him kick
it. Yeah, look, Coach is saying that right here. It looks like. Make him do it again. 5 yards. Yep. Coach is saying that exact thing. Yep.
Yep, that's what he's saying.
Take 5, send it back. Yep. Make him kick it again.
And here's the thinking on that. First off, you're getting 5 extra yards.
That's right.
Secondly, you've had 10 guys just sprint down the field.
Right. 100%. Yeah, it all works out. They're going to make
Actually, they're going to take it at the 50-yard line.
Taking it to 50.
Yeah.
Oh, because of the penalty. Okay.
But that's where Dennis is going to take it. So it's 1st and 10, Woodford County. I thought it would be a good idea because you got Leland Taylor back there, and he.
Yeah. I guess
he's always
the other side of that is if they do score, you're giving Scott County the ball back again. Right. So maybe you just want to play your game here, get a chance to run some offense against this team.
Twin receivers to both sides. They're stacked. The running back is Dumas directly behind Wertzler in the pistol. They give it off to Dumas, and he's tackled. No, they throw it out. I thought Dumas had it, and they throw it out in the flat to Taylor.
Now, that was an interesting play. They're trying to loosen things up there, Darren. That little jump pass, Arizona used to run that back 5 years ago. Was one of their favorite things to do is make sure the quarterback is throwing backwards after he makes his cut to try to draw the defense in. It's almost, I don't know what to call that except maybe a backwards screen.
It's a lateral.
Yeah, I mean, like the play itself. Yeah. It's almost like a back screen.
And you're talking about with Arizona a few years ago. That's courtesy of Rich Rod.
Yeah.
Rich Rodriguez, the former West Virginia coach.
It's like a throwing option. It's really an odd.
2nd and 7 for Woodford County on the initial possession. Same formation again here. Middle of the field's wide open if they run some kind of a slant or something. Wertzler throws behind.
I'm not sure who he was throwing to there. He
was
had
throwing to
Taylor,
Taylor.
and he had on the outside.
Well, he had Taylor, and he's throwing quicker than, the out routes are supposed to be the ones you release the ball before the receiver makes his break.
I don't know if he's getting
Slant your
nervous
way.
or what the deal is there.
I don't know. He's really struggled throwing the ball tonight. 3rd and 7. You got great field position with this here. You need to do something with it. Wertzler back to throw. Has time. Throws.
Again.
And again, a miscommunication.
He's almost throwing like he's hurt. Like the ball is just not coming out.
Well, he had, it looked like a one receiver running what would have been a skinny post, and another receiver, which was the backside, was the slot receiver running an out.
Yeah.
It was like he was in between of who he was going to throw it to.
That's 2 or 3 times he's done that tonight. Darren is just kind of indecisive looking downfield.
Bring Peters in tight to help with the blocking. Coming after, that's roughing the kicker.
Yeah, that's 100% roughing.
Yeah, and Ford is slow to get up. Either that or he's slow to get up and he's injured, or he's a heck of an actor.
Well, there have been a couple of times here that was the last punt. He got hit and didn't go down.
No. He is saying it's only a 5-yard penalty. That is not running into the kicker. That's roughing the kicker.
Yeah, they ran straight into him.
That is roughing the kicker. If he says that's a 5-yard penalty, he needs to go back. That's the quintessential roughing the kicker.
That was textbook.
The kicker's got his leg up.
And the guy's playing through him. He played through it.
Yes. He said running into the kicker. Are you serious?
Wow. Didn't like that. I don't like to complain about referees. Darren.
But what they do is they're protecting the kicker there. If he's got his leg up in the air.
Yeah. I don't like to complain about referees and judgment calls like that, but that was not.
That's not a judgment call. That
was a straight up.
That is clear cut. Yep.
He played through his leg, and another player came up underneath.
Yeah, and that's not.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's 4th and 2. What do you do here?
You go for it.
Yeah.
And you put your big package in.
Yeah. You run right over him.
And we're bringing Dumas in.
Well, they know where it's going. Let's see what Woodford County can do here.
4th and 2 now. Get a timeout, Woodford County. Somebody didn't like something they saw. We do this a lot, and I just still don't understand. This is where we miss the guy down on the sidelines.
Mm-hmm.
If we had a guy down on the sidelines, we could hear and that's what I was so good at doing. That's why I enjoyed being down there. I love being up in the booth, but I love being down on the sidelines because you could walk right up there and hear what the official was telling the coach. Dennis didn't throw a fit, but I don't know why he didn't, because he may have just.
Well, I think Dennis is also.
That.
Let's talk about Dennis and going into the job of being a head coach. He knows that that's going to do more harm than it does good.
Well, it's 4th and 2. Woodford County from the Scott County 42-yard line. 10:48 to play in the 3rd. Jackets trying.
Yep, 4th and 2, big 4th down here.
Yep, and they're in tight, but the receivers are stacked. Dumas. I'll give to Taylor, running left.
Nope, he kept it.
That's Wertzler. He's going to be close.
No, they're going to call him short.
He should have gotten to the 41. And I want that explanation, because that's yes, it's a 4-touchdown game right now, but that is a drive killer.
I just watched that play again on our delay there, Darren, and I'll tell you that he got hit by 2 players. The first one played through his leg while it was still in the air, and the other one came up underneath him. It was 100%
That's roughing.
Roughing. It's a 15-yard penalty.
I don't know what you're looking at. That's all the White Hat's supposed to do in the backfield.
Yeah.
To look at that back there.
Running into the kicker is like incidental. This was not incidental.
No. He went after the block. He didn't get there, and he just, and Ford could have been hurt pretty bad. They give it off to Fryman. Upended by Hodge. They gave him 3 on the bounce. 2nd and 7. Going to pull, going right. They give it off to Fryman again. He'll get over the 45 to about the 47-yard line. It'll be 3rd and about 3. Actually, going to make it 3rd and 4.
Another 3rd down here, Darren, that you know what's going to happen. You got 2 more downs to play through this game now. And
Hickey gives it to Hughley, and he's dropped for a loss. Actually, he's going to be right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th and about 3. That was Wyatt Peters.
Hickey getting up slow on that one. He got a high load in tandem on that.
It'll be 4th and they gave him a yard on that. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Well,
4th and 3. I thought he, at best, got back to the line of scrimmage. They're going to go for it on 4th and 3.
of course they are. You know that this is coming, and see what Woodford County can do here. First man through.
9 minutes, 5 seconds to play in the 3rd. Parker got off to the start again. Hickey hit as he throws. Going to catch it and score. I tell you what, he got a head start again.
Yeah, he was upfield. He
was upfield a yard.
Full step. But
He going for 2 to get the running clock.
this is what he wanted to do all night, and we were talking about that up at halftime on the side over here about somebody said something about, do you think McKee will back up? I was like, no, he wants to put up 60 if he can, and he wants a running clock.
And I'll tell you that he has had that history. He will beat teams into submission. 34-0, Cardinals. Hughley in motion. They pitch it back, and they're going to throw it out in the flat.
Yep.
2-point conversion.
Nope.
That's a new one. I've not seen that one out of Jim McKee's playbook in the many years I've seen Scott County Cardinals play.
Yeah, McKee is over there celebrating like he's just won the Super Bowl.
Well, he's going to win a district championship. But I will tell you this. Okay, the Jackets still have to fight. They had some fight in them. Had some things happen. So, you know. The Brewer will kick off. Not what you wanted to happen on homecoming, but when you schedule a team like the Scott County, it's a possibility if you don't play well. This one will hit at the 18-yard line, picked up. I believe that's Hellick. They'll wind the clock.
This is the first time in a while I've seen a running clock against Woodford County. I know that they did not.
Well, last time happened against South Warren on this field in the state semifinals. But if you remember the second half, the Jackets fought and outscored them by 2 touchdowns. So let's see what this team will do.
Got number 18 in there at quarterback.
Yeah, Coons, Lemmy Coons in at quarterback now for Woodford County, which is usually a sign. He's not a running quarterback. He's a throwing quarterback. Gives it off to Preston, cuts it left, gets up over the 20. Dropped at about the 22. Give him 4. It'll be second down and 6 for the Jackets. Jackets just need to keep playing. This game's going to get over in a hurry. It's the running clock now, but you just want to get some respect out of this. Give it off to Preston again. He's going to stutter step, and he's going to lose a yard. Woodside slow getting up. Jackets actually gave him a gain of none. They gave him back to the line of scrimmage. I thought he lost a yard. 3rd and 6. 6:20 in the clock moving. Blitz coming. Coons back to throw. Has Taylor. Taylor gets a block. Cuts it back to the middle of the field. Gets up over the 40 to about the 44-yard line.
Now Leland Taylor can sure make some magic happen when the ball is in his hands. He can move the ball. I mean, I don't care who he's catching the ball from.
Yeah, when he gets out in the open field, he gets those long, loping strides. But when he's in close-knit quarters, he chops his feet better than anybody I've ever seen.
Yeah, he does a great job. He keeps his feet under him, and he can get going in a big hurry.
One turnover tonight for Woodford County. That
Costly one.
a big, costly one.
Early slant.
They throw out here to Thurman. That's not a catch. That is not a catch.
We got
a flag, but that's not a catch. You got to be able to make a football move, and he never made a move. That should be an incomplete pass. Be a block in the back. Dennis asking the guy, and he's like, he never got to make a step. So how do you have a catch? Block in the back on the Cardinals. First down. That's not a catch.
No, I agree with you, Darren. I don't think that was a catch either. But it doesn't matter. They're going to call it how they're going to call it, and they're going to take their time walking this off, because I think the referees, like you said, you go into a mode when the clock is stopped and they're doing this stuff where they want to just get it going. And now with the running clock, we've seen this before, where referees will take a long time to set the ball. Now they're trying to cut down the number of plays.
Here's the thing that I had the problem with. After between the first and second quarters, they had about a 30-second break between quarters.
Mm-hmm.
I look up and I'm reading a commercial. They're back ready to go for action in the second quarter. That's not how this works, folks. 4 minutes to play. Got the number one offense in there still. There's another block in the back, and they're not going to call that. Yeah.
Number 32 made a great tackle there.
That was Graham Hodge, loss of 2, 2nd and 12.
Oh, check that. That was number 12. I'm sorry.
That's Wyatt Peters.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it was Tomlin on the outside who strung it out as he turned to pursue. He got shoved in the back. But a nice play by Peters. Loss of 2, 2nd and 12. Hickey brings the guy in motion, gives it off to the fullback Fryman. Barrels inside the 40.
Again,
the 39.
Scott County just staying with their game.
Yep, give him the 40. Gain of 7 to be 3rd and 5. Third and 5. Hickey back to throw.
Ball.
Throws a fade route. Tipped up in the air, knocked away. Pretty good defense there by Ivan Turner.
Ivan Turner playing that one like he understood what his job was. He did a great job of getting downfield, staying in his man's hip, turning on the football and knocking it away.
4th and 5 for the Cardinals. Well, he looked back. As soon as the receiver stopped to look back, he looked back.
His head was on the ball. It was,
Which is
a
how
great play.
you do a
He keeps his
play
head.
there.
He keeps his head down in that situation, and you're going to see a PI every single time. But he did not. He turned it and made a play on the football.
Yeah, he's not one to sit there and he gets picked on a lot.
Yeah.
Let's face it, he gets picked on a lot by teams, and he's come up big time after time this year so far.
Yeah, they're going to try and run a quick snap. Yep.
Actually, they're going to punt it away with 1:45 to play in the third. Snap to Jabeur. End over end kick. It'll hit at the Woodford County 9. Checks back up, rolls over the 15, about the 17-yard line.
I'm already down to a minute in the third.
First and 10, Woodford County from, I said the 17, of course. They put it down at the 16. I'm 0 for the season. I'm trying to figure out where an official's going to put the ball.
You're 0 for a season.
0 for the season.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Just where you think the ball is, invariably they always move it back at least a yard or two. Wertzler back to throw. Throws out here in the flat, or on the out route to Wyatt Crow. He makes the catch, gets up over the 25 to about the 29-yard line to be a gain of 13, and it'll be first and 10, Woodford County. Jackets have moved the ball tonight, Andy. They've had a couple of turnovers I didn't think were turnovers. One was turned into points. This last one was not.
That's right, Darren. That's what that's going to kill you. Excuse me.
Wertzler back to throw. Blitz coming. He eludes it. Gets up over the 30 to about the 35-yard line. Crow is limping on the far side now. That's the end of the third quarter. $36-0, Scott County over Woodford County. We head to quarter number 4. You know, and people will say this is a dominant performance by Scott County. It is on the scoreboard, but they have not really pushed Woodford County around.
Right. No, I think that's true. I think that Woodford's had a couple of plays where, and a couple of series. I think Scott County is a great football team, but I think
No question.
that Woodford County has made some mistakes that they can't afford to make against a team like Scott County. And Scott County has proven to be beatable on the front line. They've moved the ball for sure, but Woodford stalled them now 3 times with their starting O-line in. And I'll tell you, you can build on some of this stuff coming back. And when you know that a team like Scott County is human, if they do catch them again, it's going to be interesting.
Well, and the thing is, too, the Jackets, first and foremost, they know they're talented. Scott County's talented. We match up talent-wise. Where I don't think Woodford County believes it is between the ears.
Possibly.
Wertzler back to throw. He throws on the comeback route. I believe that is Thurmond again, if I'm not mistaken, on that far side. That was Thurmond.
Yep. Woodford County now starting to complete some passes. I'd like to see some of those passes completed earlier.
Well, those were routes I wish they had thrown early in the game. First and 10, Woodford County from their own 45. They have, like I said, moved the ball at times. And they've done it in a myriad of ways. They throw over there to the far side. And again, early contact, but nothing called there.
And that was a good play. He jumped it, played ball.
Well, now he's going to jump it. If you can go stop and go.
That's right.
Or one of Coach Carr Sr.'s favorite plays. He likes to call a hook and go.
Yeah, it's a great play.
Almost look like a ballerina. You make a hook inside, turn 360, and spread down the sidelines. 10:35, the clock still moving even on the incomplete pass with the Cardinals up 36 here in the fourth. Wertzler back to throw, steps into one. He's got Kelly. He overshoots him.
Yep.
3rd and 10 now. Justice will understand. He's still growing into the quarterback position. If he throws that thing with some more air under it, let Hellig get there. It's called dropping it in the bucket.
Yeah, I think that's right. You're talking. You were talking about touch earlier in Wertzler, and I think that's exactly right.
That might help. I forgot I had those over there, Andy. Sorry.
I got that tickle just kind of hit me there in the last 15 minutes here.
Wertzler in the pistol formation with Dumas behind him. 3rd and 10 from their own 45. Wertzler back to throw. Feels pressure. Rolls, fakes, cuts it up. And he's drugged down from behind. Got 5. It'll be at midfield. It'll be 4th and 5. I guess we'll go for it. 4th and 5. I think if Justice had decided once he broke towards the line of scrimmage to go ahead and run for it, he would have gotten more than the 5 yards, but he was still looking downfield.
Yeah, he's going to make that decision. And I'm sure that he knows he's got to bite off a few more yards, but the clock doesn't matter at this point.
It'll come. It'll come as he gets more seasoned as a quarterback, too. Wertzler back to throw. Throws out here to Starks. Caught it, 40 to the 35 of the Cardinals. First and 10, Woodford County. Cardinals, I don't want the shutout. The Jackets moving forward here. 8.5 to play. Wertzler back to throw again. Cardinals rush 4. He has Starks. That thing wasn't even close. Starks is 6'4". That was well overthrown. And he had the inside route on the DB there. He beaten Mongo inside.
Yeah, no, I think that
2nd and 10.
Or no, Starks off of a stellar performance last year or last week, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
2 weeks ago, last week.
Last week he had a defensive touchdown. He just took the ball away from a running back and went 25 yards for a touchdown. Wertzler back to throw. Blitz coming. Picked up off the hands and incomplete. Dropped between 3 Cardinals. That looked like 2 infielders going out on a pop fly and the outfielder coming in and everybody looking at it. No, you got it. Nobody got it.
Yeah, the cornerback for Scott County, Jaden Fields, there just kind of was watching the football and just kind of watched it drop in front of himself.
Yeah. 3rd and 10. That one hit right off the pads of Wade, who was open. You let it get to his body again. You can't let that happen. You got to catch it with your hands. Aiden Nelson was one of the best at catching that thing with his hands coming across the middle of the field I've seen in 40 years. Wertzler with blitz coming.
Got it again in the hands.
In and out of the hands. It'll be 4th down and 10. He had Taylor again.
Taylor's got to play that one with strong hands.
Yeah.
It in.
And Leland's made that catch several times this season. That one just off his hands. Don't know. There was some contact. Don't know if that created him to knock him off balance or if he just took his eye off of it.
Yeah. Just got to play with strong hands. Strong hands, strong hands.
Twin receivers to both sides. On 4th and 10. Wertzler back to throw. He has a man open, and it's over his head. And Collins looked like he made a little tug of Thurman's jersey there as he went down the seam.
I don't think you're going to see anything that's going to slow this game down.
No. And, that's the thing that aggravates me about high school officiating. Yes, this game is out of control, but score-wise. But guess what? you're still out there to keep this thing under control, make sure nobody gets hurt, and if there's a foul, call it. If it's on Woodford, call it. If it's on Scott, call it. Whatever. You just don't let the rule book and the way you call a game go out of it because the outcome has been decided.
That's right.
Now the official's job is right now is to keep this thing from anybody getting hurt unnecessarily. New quarterback in for the Cardinals is number 1. Of course not. I don't have him on the roster. That's Colt. Colt Nelson, I think, or Colt Fields, I think, is the young man at quarterback now. And again, I mean, I got great information. Yeah, Colt Fields, 5'10", 140-pound sophomore. I got great information from Coach McKee, but there's been about 5 or 6 guys with different numbers than he gave me. I've been listening to Tim Goins, the PA announcer over here, to make sure I picked up who was who. No gain, 2nd down and 10 for the Cardinals.
You said to lean over.
Huh?
You had to lean over and listen.
Yeah, it's just, I appreciate Coach McKee getting back to me quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But numbers are not right. That's 45 now, I believe. Not sure I have his name either. Donovan Meeks, 5'11", 185-pound sophomore. Scott County's got about everybody back next year. They lose Fryman. They lose Hughley. Both are seniors in that running attack. I think Fikert is as well. Yep, Fikert's. So they lose their wing backs and their starting fullback. But Hickey's back. Their entire offensive line is back next year. So they will be a force next year as well. 3rd and about 7. Fields gives it off to the fullback Meeks. He's going to be close. We have a sideline warning on Scott County. Doesn't matter. It's 4th and a yard. Coach McKee will go for it. Up 36-0 with 3:15 to play. I was wondering when we get a sideline warning on the Cardinals because McKee is always about 3 or 4 yards out on the field. In motion, the wingback turn to give it off to Meeks. 1st down and more for the Cardinals. Into Woodford County territory down about the 47.
Probably.
And I've not met a head coach for any football team that I've seen, Woodford County included, that don't spend about 75% out on the field 3 or 4, 5 yards or so. First and 10 Cardinals. 36-0 Scott County. Scott County will take a knee, and that'll probably do it.
Maybe one more snap.
Yep, one more snap. Woodford County High School football brought to you by Woodford County Public Schools. That's our title sponsor. Glad they are with us. Danny Atkins in the group. Does wonderful things with this project of a learner. Besides throw me a curveball with collaborator. Collaborator.
You almost got there.
Yeah. Missed it the first time, got it the second time. 2nd and 12. Minute 18 to play. You know what? We have not seen the back judge one time tonight on either side throw his hand up with a 10-second countdown.
Yeah.
And I've seen, Scott County's gone up there, sometimes snatch the ball quickly, sometimes they've taken a long time. Woodford's done the same thing. I've know there's got to be somebody getting close to 10 seconds
Right.
on the play clock. 3rd and about 13 now. Doesn't matter. Scott County will win it 36-0. Those will take a knee, and that'll do it. Cardinals will move to 8-1 on the season. $28-0. Anderson County losing to Collins. Second quarter of action in that one. Cardinals win it 36-0. Jackets drop to 5-2 on the season.
Yep.
Cardinals moved to 8-1. And, you know, I had some people talking to me about this RPI thing. That's why I mentioned it in the pregame, Andy. The one thing I don't like about it, it doesn't take into account that if you play a team from out of state that is one of the best teams in their state, you know, year in and year out. And, oh, by the way, folks, Warren has not lost since they lost here.
Right. Well, I think that
and I understand it's an out-of-state school, but there are teams that play people from out of state all the time. So,
sure.
You know, you put an exact,
Yeah.
you know, one exact figure on
Sure.
an out-of-state team that you play, and that's it, whether you win it or not. You know, you don't get any points for winning it. You don't get any extra for less for losing it. So I don't get that, you know. And
well, it's you know, and at this point it doesn't matter because Woodford County now is going to take a solid second in the district.
They will be second in the district no matter what.
They are going to have to lift their heads a little bit, and
they got beat by a good team.
And they
No
did.
doubt.
They got their, but they're not 36-0.
No, I don't
better.
think they are. No, I don't think so either.
And I think Woodford County sort of it's almost a little bit like what UK did last weekend, where they just didn't play their game. And we saw some drop passes, which we've not seen this year very often, and we saw some
miscommunication between quarterback and receiver,
which we've not seen very often at all. So, you know, maybe it's just a sign of growing up a little bit. I don't know, but I'll be anxious to see if they get another shot at Scott County this year and can actually come out and play their game. So. Well, that's about all I've got to say about this one tonight.
We'll mark this off and come out next week. But next Friday night, the Jackets on the road just across the river in Lawrenceburg to take on the Bearcats of Anderson County. Game time is at 7:30, and we plan on having the video stream for that. I will let everybody know as soon as I know if we can or not. If not, we'll have an audio-only broadcast from Lawrenceburg. Woodford County loses tonight over to the Cardinals from Scott County. Scott County moves to 8-1 on the season. They will be at home, I think, next week. Let me see. I already told you about the Jackets. The Jackets in action 2 weeks from tonight at home to conclude the regular season when they welcome in 6A Power Ballard to Community Stadium. It'll be a first time ever that the Jackets will play Ballard here in football or basketball. They played on baseball. They played in softball. They've done some other games as well. So the Jackets fall tonight to the Cardinals of Scott County, 36-0. If I'm going to tell you here real quickly who the Cardinals are supposed to play next week, because that will be their final regular season game of the year. They have the final week of the regular season as their bye week. Woodford County losing for the first time in district play tonight to Scott County, 36-0. Cardinals will be in action 2 weeks from tonight. I'm sorry, they're off next week. They will be in action 2 weeks from tonight when they go to Lexington to take on Lexington Catholic. That'll be their game. So Woodford County loses tonight 36-0. Want to thank all our fine sponsors along the network here. Woodford County Public Schools, where kids win. UK Sports Medicine, get treatment just like the Wildcats. Jack Keane Ford, where service is not lip service, it's practiced every day. Woodford Family Physicians, comprehensive care for all members of your family. Versailles Brewing Company, proud to say that every ingredient raised and grown right here in Woodford County. Carroll Floor Covering, all your flooring needs under one roof. Mr. Appliance, expert appliance repair from a friendly company. J&B Marathon Cafe, great food that you just have to talk about. Woodford Car Company, we buy and sell cars the right way. Falling Springs Rec Center, fitness, family, and fun, all in one place. Woodford Seal Coat, helping protect your investment. Woodford County Judge Executive James Kay, working for you, your family, and Woodford County's future. Cindy Chirac, Rector Hayden Realty, home is the nicest word there is. Ricardo's Restaurant, it's Southern dining with a twist. And by Dairy Queen, where happy tastes good. So Woodford County needs to get up off the mat next Friday night when they go to Lawrenceburg to take on Anderson County. We'll be on the air at 7:10 with the pregame. So for Andy Smith on color, Kelly Masters doing the camera work tonight, and Mark Matthews in the pregame, former Yellow Jacket quarterback. Final score again, Scott County 36, Woodford County nothing. Till next Friday night, so long from Community Stadium.